Hi, Sash.
Hi, Sash.
Yeah,
Hi, Sash.
Welcome.
Welcome, Sash.
Welcome, Sash.
Welcome,
We
everyone.
greatly welcome you.
What's the future like?
We are in the frosty wastes that lie below the spine of the world. Ironically, it's colder here than anywhere we've yet been before. The glacier that Bryn Shander and 10 Towns stand quite close to, trapped between the sea of moving ice as they are. I cannot match the cold that we currently feel right now. It's a valley, a slowly rising valley that we're heading up as we go towards Mount Ironmaster, traveling along a goat track. Permafrost. The ground here stays cold even throughout the summer and never melts, making it inhospitable to all but a handful of highly specialized creatures that are able to forage the grass and shrubs that lie beneath several inches of ice and snow. And of course, the predators that feast upon them. It's brutally cold. It's almost intolerable. You have come across very few problems, partly because there are few creatures or people that can tolerate this level of cold. Did we just camp for the night?
Yeah, I couldn't get the animals to keep going.
We had to stop,
That's right.
and I created a
Yeah.
tower. A magically warm tower.
Ah, right. Did you let the animals in?
Yeah, like the bottom floor is an empty room for the animals, and the top floor is the
Perfect.
bedroom.
Yeah.
Let's make
They
it
would be
the top floor would be a lounge, because that's like sofas and stuff, so it's more people can sleep comfortably.
perfect. There would be no way of them recovering their exhaustion out in the freezing cold, but by having a centrally heated room for them to rest in, they get the vigor back that they'll need for the journey ahead.
Only one tower, because I used my other third level spell slot to counterspell the Roth.
Excellent. Can we all fit inside this one tower?
10 feet tall, up to 100 square feet. So how wide can 100 square feet be?
You need about 10 feet square, an absolute minimum, with which to be mildly comfortable. So yeah, you'd be able to fit. It's cramped in here. It's cramped, but you're still able to stretch out and put up your feet and relax. Meanwhile, the weather rages outside as night falls and the temperature, which was already below freezing, drops to the point of death, of a nightmarish level. You're safe and warm inside your makeshift dwelling.
Yeah, Prophet claims one of the armchairs, everyone else can fend for themselves.
Haha! You got the granddad chair. It's the biggest, it's the most comfortable, and it's all yours.
It's got multiple armchairs.
Yeah, a lounge with couches, armchairs, side tables, and footstools.
It's a bungalow. It's
I take another armchair and keep my chicken on my lap with the box as well.
the chicken is thankful to be inside this warm area. All right. There is a blizzard during the night, and your building is not entirely secure, is it?
It's got a door, right?
Yeah, that's about it though. A door with a lock, and that's all.
But it says, I think it says specifically the air inside is warm and comfortable no matter the conditions outside.
Yeah, good, good. So this is not the most secure holding you could possibly imagine, but it's pretty strong. It's better than a cave or a tent. There's no doubt about that. During the night, there's a terrible amount of snow. A great snowstorm tears through the alley, through the corridor, the goat track, and when morning comes, the door is buried 5 feet in snow.
we've been buried in snow.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. It's
Snowed
buried
in.
up to you're snowed in to a point of about 5 feet. You've got windows, I imagine, so you probably should be able to see. And if when you try to open the door, you discover it. In any case, you're trapped in here, and the blizzard. Well, it's died down. It's no longer a blizzard. It's more like strong winds with snowfall.
I like the windows on the second story blocked as well.
No, no. You're looking down. The second story is almost the first story because the first story is that deep in snow.
Wild
is
is
the
gonna
car?
ask.
Do we get the? Do we? Can we fit the wagon inside? Is that?
I don't think so.
Did we
No,
do
no,
that?
you wouldn't be able to, not with the dimensions that we were just given.
100 square feet. Like I think that for some reason I think that's a really big area, but like 100
It's
feet
not
is quite
bad.
small.
Yeah, it's incredibly small. 100 square feet is 10 feet by 10 feet. That's fuck all.
Mm.
3 meters by 3 meters. That's all. That's all it is. It's about the size of a small standard bedroom, or a small to medium sized bedroom.
Yeah, it's very cramped, but enough to fit us.
Yeah, student
Drax
accommodation.
is- You know,
Tiny
Drax is
homes.
all,
That's right.
fuck yeah, love tiny homes. He's gonna jump out the second story window. That's now the first story window.
You
and
land in snow 5 feet deep. It comes up to your chin.
he's gonna start casting shape water repeatedly to
Excellent.
shift all the snow away from us in
So-
like a steady slope, so that we have a way out of the bottom floor.
So my character
Cool.
might drown in that snow.
Yeah, sure of it.
Drax.
It's
Drink
completely
your way out of it.
effective. Yeah, it's a highly effective strategy. Though you do frighten some hawks and a large elk, which bounds away into the snow.
And I to save it, stop it from coming back in. I'd make like a little wall of ice, like freeze the snow even more, and then make like a wall of ice so it can't slide back down on us.
Perfect. You've got a little snow break. And
Can-
then everyone's rested and refreshed. And to be honest, no one wants to go outside.
Can you unbury the cart?
Where is it?
Point in general direction
It'll
somewhere.
take a while to find, but you know,
You had the keys.
that's it.
He, like,
Honey,
closes
where
his
we
eyes
park
and
the
his
kids?
Press the button and the horn should beep. You just
Oh,
eyes. Everyone have a locate object spell.
okay, I'll just.
I do, but there's no way I'm using that.
It takes about half an hour, but you do
Don't
find
worry, Prophet has keen mind. He knows exactly where you left it.
it. Takes about half a minute.
Right. He kind of looks at Prophet, kind of closes his eyes, sighs, and just starts digging it up. Giving it, I'll make it like a slow slope so I can push it out if the animals can't get to it.
You can, but the snow doesn't abate. So while you're able to remove it from the depths of the snow, the conditions are awful. You can only see about 100, 200 feet ahead. And if you were to go inside for an hour, you'd come back out, and the wheels would be half buried again. You know, it's
Hmm.
it's falling at the rate of probably 3 or 4 inches an hour, maybe more, maybe
It's all right.
6 or 12 inches an hour.
I have an idea. Does anyone have like a couple? Is how many? It's like 4 wheels on a wagon, right?
That's
The big-
correct.
the
Yeah.
bigger one. Do we have like 4 shields or anything? I have one.
I have.
Oh, we only really need it on the back wheels, don't we?
What are you doing?
2
Yeah,
shields. You could strap the shields to the bottom and make it into like a big sled.
And the front two, I got some chain.
What if
I
I
could
just
do
make?
like.
What if I just do this? And he drags us all shape the water into the shape of skis under the wheels, and then use it again to freeze them in place and make them thick enough that they're really thick skis that won't snap immediately.
Sure, they're quite brittle, but effective, and you'll be able to mend them quickly enough. So yeah, you create your skis made of ice, and they're quite effective, considering it only took you a handful of moments to craft.
And at this point, when we start moving, I'll cast Water Walk on everyone.
Okay.
Grants the ability to move across any liquid surface, such as acid, water, acid, mud, snow is included, quicksand or
included?
lava.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
Maybe be better to cast that on the animals.
it hit 10 creatures, dude. That's
Oh,
everyone.
alright, we got 10. That is everyone.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's just a perfect number.
And
Alright.
something I forgot to do last session. The prophet would hand back like the platinum ring.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Speaking of last session, as the party begins to set off, you dismiss the tower, I imagine, and head off into the blinding snow. We'll just have a bit of a recap of what happened with Jaraxxus. Jaraxxus, yeah. When we went through Bryn Shander and then underneath the spine of the world and then to Hundlestone, you had a brief. We stopped briefly in Hundlestone where we talked with our old friend Thwip Ironbottom. He was concerned, and he expressed that concern to you. But he's come to like you. He's come to like you. He's come to trust you and have faith in you. So there were two important things that he dealt with. Psychic pirates. Have you heard of psychic pirates? They're all up and down the Sword Coast. I've heard all about them. It seems that they're controlled by some sort of hive mind. They've got some sort of shared goal. It seems that they act as one. Have you heard of any rumors such as this?
Slow down, friend. Just give. I'm not that quick.
Psychic pirates. Psychic pirates. Aye. It seems that they share some sort of dream. There's a dream of some entity beneath the waves that it shares them, and they all dream together, and they all have a similar mindset. That's what I've heard. I don't know how true it is.
Right, and this is a problem for I guess our organization now.
Aye. I know it probably has very little to do. You don't go near the coast very much. I understand that, but I thought you'd better know.
We actually might have a way to travel across the water soon enough, so maybe it will be our problem. Maybe we can.
Well, just in case, you'd better take this with you. You better take it with you. It's pretty easy to use. It's quite simple, really. All you have to do is use it once per day, and it will send a message, and the message will be able to reply. It's quite simple, really. And he gives you a pearl, the one that you stole from that girl that time, and it works pretty simple. It casts the sending spell once per day, but only to the other bearer of the stone, which which will either be he or the girl in Bryn Shander.
Okay. And he's just basically telling me about the psychic pirates that we should be careful of, or should I deal with them?
That's just to be careful of. You're a field operative now, and you're going to be pretty active. You're kind of doing the sort of thing that he was doing when you met him, traveling up and down the coast and going to different places, picking up information and then passing it on. He expects that you'll be a very valuable source of intelligence in the future, and so he's hoping that if you learn anything that would be important to the Harpers, then to deliver the information to him so that he can then deliver it onwards.
Right.
As for the psychic pirates, that he doesn't even seem to be taking it very seriously. In fact, he's known about it for quite some time and didn't tell you about it because he didn't take it seriously. But now that he's reached Hundlestone, Bryn Shander, and then Hundlestone, it seems to be like a recurring rumor. And when people talk about fantastic things often enough, it's often because they're true.
Yeah. Okay. All good.
And so we push on through with skis on our wagon, the animals and us walking over the snow, and the conditions couldn't be better, save for the weather itself, of course. Who's going to be in charge of navigation?
Roz and I have really good survival, so we could sort of duo that.
Yeah. I was
And
gonna
my
say with the
character knows
helmet.
which way north is, so he can assist.
Well,
Excellent.
you and Roz do it then, because that would probably be the best way.
All right.
And I'm mapping everything out as best as I can while we're going.
So who's rolling?
Roz, you roll and make a survival check with advantage. You're doing well. You're making your way along this goat track. You can see occasional trail markers that the dwarves have left behind, big stone statues and obelisks and the like that indicate that you're vaguely on the right path. But the going is hard, and the the snow is blinding and the wind frigid, and everyone has to make a Constitution saving throw. The DC is 10, and it goes for the animals as well to avoid a level of exhaustion.
God. Oh wait, never mind.
Do I still get that advantage for being on the
I
box?
forgot. Like, do I roll? Because last time I did it.
You have advantage due to your cold resistance.
Ah, yes. That's a good point. I have cold resistance too, but I rolled
I
below.
failed twice.
I'm gonna guidance myself. I don't know if I can guidance.
It's
that
only
well.
a 7 from me.
Alright.
And for the chicken,
Oh yeah, should I roll for
Chicken
the
dies.
Yeah,
the Roth?
natural
Just
20
lying.
for the chicken.
it's a frost
Just
chicken.
roll a flat Constitution roll.
Yeah, that's right. Flat Constitution. They don't have saving throw bonus. All right, pulling the wagons. Evidently, tough work, and the animals are getting ill once again. So it's
How
quite
far do we-
merciful. Sorry,
How far do we get?
you get a couple of miles, so you're getting much closer to Ironmaster with every passing hour. Though the going is tough, really tough. And so it's quite a mercy when you enter a valley where the basalt mountain ridges block a lot of the wind and thus a lot of the snow. The mountain passes are the mountain ridges themselves are relatively snow free because they're quite steep, but the valley itself is filled with snow, and this snow is probably somewhere between 5 and 10 feet deep, depending on the uneven land. The snow itself is quite flat, but the land beneath it obviously ridges and rises. So you've come to this long valley, 100 feet, 200 feet long, and it's blocked from the snow and from the wind by these high mountains, but the pass itself is quite choked. Um, it's some sort of small mercy for your already freezing animals. Would you like to stop here, take a brief break at all, or are you just determined to keep walking every minute of the day?
If the animals are
Yeah.
Yeah,
Break.
I would. Yeah, break for the animals.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Given the positive conditions here, without any wind chill and the snow blowing straight over our heads, everyone who's failed their saving throw can make a fresh saving throw, including the animals. But if you've already passed, there's no need.
Because I
Some respite from the storm.
Yeah, exactly right.
with the animal that duck wild got what's it called again? Sorry,
The Roth.
Roth.
Wraith. Would I have learnt anything from the Minotaur about the Roth being his partner and trying to be friends with them and taking care of them in any way from him?
It's like we
Oh,
know
right.
He
they're
told us that as
unusually
well.
intelligent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
The-
told
us
us
that
a
as
little
well.
bit.
system with him and
So remember, like when I counterspelled, like it understood that I did it to it, and it got it got annoyed.
And I rolled a high animal handling check, so I've sort of bonded with it a little bit.
oh okay.
And Roz has been just giving the animals apples here and there. But I've only got 2 left, so it hasn't happened for a while.
Or do we want to does anyone because we left Bryn Shander without everyone, is there if anyone wanted to could that wasn't here before retroactively buy something they would have bought at Bryn Shander?
Yeah,
Anyone wants
absolutely.
to?
If you were here and you want to buy something, it's expensive. It's extra 50%, but you can do it.
I can't think of anything as Jaraxxus.
Oh, we would have gotten our Winter Wolf coats.
Yes, yeah, we did. Right.
Hell yeah, I got my badass Winter Wolf coat.
So would that block most of the cold in this area, or not really?
It's
too cold.
Yeah, without it, you'd probably die.
Right. Okay.
It's
Blown
it's
straight
kind of
to
a it's a really assumed that you have winter clothing because as I said, this is colder than it was beyond the spine of the world. This place in the trail to Ironstone Pass or Iron Master is
What Wild Gold isn't
horrendous.
bare chested anymore.
Hmm.
Put a-
No, it's too cold for that. Without the axe that I had, it's way too cold for that. I come from a very temperate climate.
Hmm.
Also, I've still got my snow leopard print coat because it's gonna sell for shit up here. I'm gonna put that over the Roth to keep it at least a little bit warmer.
Appreciates it.
Actually, while we're moving, and I don't need to repair the skis, could I try to maybe even like raise the snow behind us a little bit so that the caravan slides forward more so than has to be pulled, so it's less strain on the animals?
Yeah, you can do that. Casting spells takes time though, and it's effective, but it also slows you down at the same time, which means that you're basically balancing your time between using your sorcery and just accepting the conditions for how they are.
and you could
Ah,
you
I
could
prob-
use the shape water to mask our tracks.
Hmm. I
could,
mean,
yeah.
the hard snow is gonna do that anyway.
Yeah, it would be gone in 10 seconds. Like, sorry, like 30 minutes or so, the tracks would be gone. That's alright, I'll just focus on the sleds then. The
Cool.
skis.
It slows the party down a little bit, but it exhausts them less because it makes the going easier. It just keeps the pace at a more manageable pace. And so you take a short break here in this icy mountain pass. What's
Oh no,
everyone's
the battle
passive
map.
perception? What's everyone's passive perception?
12.
21.
13.
21.
14.
11.
Roz is like 12, I think, or something. Not that high.
12.
Oh no, 15. Sorry.
If I
Is
could
it
have printed
Arid?
that one, but yeah.
Aradel's got the 21.
Yeah.
All right. So Aradel, we've stopped briefly, and yeah, you're probably unshackling the animals to give them a chance
All the
to.
rest.
Yeah, that's right. Let them forage on whatever ferns and moss they can find. Just take the burden off their shoulders briefly, and yeah, we get out our thermoses and have a hot drink. And while everyone's doing these menial moral building tasks, you detect something, Aradel. Up here in the snow, there's something buried under the snow up here. Now, this snow is adrift. Through most of the day, you've been trudging through snow up to 2 or 3 feet deep, even deeper in some places. But the snow here is at least 5 feet deep and double, maybe even triple that, as because the whole thing's kind of settled like milk or like a cup of water. It settles flat, but underneath it, there's ridges and valleys. So you can't really be sure how deep the snow is here. Not that it really matters with your walking on water, but it's deep enough to hide a horse potentially. And there is something up here in this area that is concealing itself beneath the snow. You see it shake the snow off briefly as it pops its eyes above the snow line and then ducks it down. Just before you're about to tell everyone about it, you notice that the snow is also moving over.
Guys, I think this is some sort of ambush position for some
I
creatures.
cast mage armor.
At the first sign of trouble. I'm
Hell
gonna
yeah.
like point out the areas. I'm like, there's something moving there and up on over there.
Should I throw a firebomb at it?
Could I do a divine sense?
What's the range on Divine Sense?
60 feet. Just out of range, buddy.
I'll move up
Don't.
and then do it again. I'll like step in between these two if I can. In between the.
As at this stage, you haven't sensed anything.
Were they large?
You can't tell.
Hmm. maybe we should just sit back for um um fuck, what do I do?
It must be as cold as, as ice being buried underneath the snow the way they are.
Well, whatever they are, I don't think your breath weapon will do anything against them.
Could Roz, thinking back when he go hunting with his tribe and whatever, could he make a intelligence check to any creatures that would do this kind of stuff?
Definitely. You can make a history check, yeah.
Can I get
There-
the animals to the back of the cart too?
Yeah, there are quite a few monsters up in the north, and so determining exactly what they could be is kind of guesswork. But if you want to take some wild guesses, I'll tell you whether or not it's possible.
Tarask.
Trask is always possible.
Roz will slowly be-
Potentially, but they tend not to stalk Taras. They tend to just rampage.
Rah. Well, if we can not annoy them for 10 minutes, maybe I go away.
10 minutes.
Don't worry. Does anyone wish for a warding bond?
There's no footprints anywhere.
Why don't we just shoot it with a bow, an arrow?
I could just throw fire at it.
Yeah. I'm
Just-
gonna load my short crossbow, and when Jiraxis throws a firebolt at it, I'll also shoot it as well with my short bow.
I sort of like
Alright.
point the exact
Oh, like crossbow,
directions
sorry.
where they
Yeah,
moved.
I'll walk up to you and Arx and
Point
I'll
it
kind of
out.
get a landmark, and then I'll just kind of throw in the general direction.
Alright, I'll make an attack roll at disadvantage.
Could I follow up with the light crossbow?
Absolutely.
And I will give myself guidance as an action.
Alright. So the firebolt hits the basalt column, the rough rock beside it, mountainside, which is about maybe 50 feet tall, and then another 20 feet beyond that has a ledge halfway up. And so you hit the wall with your firebolt, and it causes a snowdrift to dump down upon the ground, and that snowdrift kind of catches the crossbow bolt, which is lost. There is movement from up here. You've agitated something, but whether or not it still thinks that maybe you haven't seen it, you can't be sure. Whatever the case, it doesn't emerge from its embankment.
I'm gonna step up just a tiny bit and cast Thaumaturgy to make some tremors there.
All right.
Harmless ground tremors.
Your plan is highly effective. Roll for initiative as a pair of tall creatures that look vaguely like polar bears, giants, humanoids with frosty white fur, long claws, and bestial faces, leap out of the snowbanks and prepare to pounce upon the tremor that you've created.
Alright. Woof. Passive perception, man.
Yeah, it's pretty phenomenal. They are half buried in snow, but they bank up roaring like bears or gorillas.
Roz will. You'll move 15 feet forward.
Alright, it would be difficult terrain, but you don't have that. You've got a spell that negates that, right, everyone?
Yeah, if you can walk
The
on water.
warp.
Perfect. Just thought I'd better check.
Yeah, it only lasts an hour, so if I had to recast it, I would have.
Yeah, okay, so you had to recast it, yeah.
Cool.
How-
So that's
how
my
tall are these
2
things?
third level spells.
They must be close to 10 feet tall, but it's kind of difficult since they're standing in such deep snow. They're
Yeah.
taller than you are.
But now that since we're on top of the snow, would we come? How high to them?
Yeah, good call. You'd probably be slightly taller than them, particularly, you're a big guy. Yeah, you'd probably be slightly above them by half a foot.
Okay. Well, I'll just move 10 more feet forward and fire 2 crossbow bolts to that one.
Alright, it beats its chest, clearly unafraid, or maybe not even knowing what the crossbow is. But it soon finds out, because while their fur is thick, it's not thick enough to stop an accurate crossbow bolt.
I don't think that hit.
It did, a 14, yeah, it did. But only, and it's a pure white fur is now stained with crimson.
One more. Oh, fuck.
But this
Crossbows
one,
are loading.
unfortunately. Oh yeah, good call. Yeah, you can only do
Uh,
one attack per round. Yeah. Need a bow.
Oh, really?
Need a short bow or something.
Okay.
Or a longbow.
Oh, that's me then.
No worries.
Alright. It occurs to me that would I be able to have my white, like, fine steed familiar up here? My stag?
Yeah. You could have summoned your stag. It's the conditions aren't great for it, and it doesn't have the. We've cast walk on water on everyone already, so it doesn't have the ability to. It'll be difficult terrain for your stag.
Yeah.
If he had it before I casted it, I still could have gotten everyone because I have snowshoes.
Oh right. Okay. In that case, yeah, you can.
Well, there you go.
Alright.
Is there a token for it or
It's
not?
just like a snow
I
elk with
haven't
like
found
2
one yet,
snowshoes on its front legs.
Is it an elk?
Yeah, that'll do.
Cool. A
Uses
giant
giant.
elk or giant elk, right?
No, it's a regular elk.
Just a regular elk. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think I had it as I assumed it was right. It was a warhorse stat.
Warhorse stats, yeah.
Oh, warhorse. Yeah,
But
okay,
just
cool.
looks like an elk.
No worries, because there is elk stats. That's all.
Yeah. A giant elk, however. Oh, wow. The thing
Yeah,
is
they're pretty tough
si-
giant elks.
size huge.
Yeah,
Oh, that's a big boy.
I'll give you control of it. And I'll put it up into species. All right, player journals. Again.
Pebble gold.
Alright.
Is its name Pebble? What?
No, Pebble's the bat.
Oh yeah, that's right. What are you gonna
Alright,
name
cool.
your stag?
I haven't thought of it.
It's Boulder.
Baldur's Gate.
Alright. So I have water walking?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, you can
Yep.
have one. Yeah.
Alright. I'm gonna 60 feet, or 50. Right up next to it, nothing, and do 2 attack.
Oh, you can still attack it.
Yeah, that's my horse's movement.
Well, Prophet's going to tell you to smite it with all your power.
And I was planning on it, so yeah.
Yeah, but something's going to happen though.
Alright.
So you're going to cast a spell before it happens?
Yes. Searing Smite. And then I'm gonna do Divine
And the
Smite.
first attack's a 20.
Oh, nice. Wow, alright.
To
Roll.
double everything.
Alright, yeah. So, 2d8. Divine Smite is another 2d8. Searing Smite is 1d6.
And then roll all those. Well, no, except for the 2d8 because that's where you critted.
Oh, yeah, whoops.
So roll the 2d8 and a d6. So that's 16 radiant,
Wow.
9 fire,
Fire.
Shit.
and 10 bludgeoning using a flail.
Yes.
Bit of damage.
How much in total?
Alright.
23?
No, more than that, isn't it?
26, 27, 29, 29 plus 6.
35.
25, 35.
All right, it dies in a hail of bright bright, radiant flame. Its pelt is ruined.
I'm going to use my horse's action dash and smack this one. My second attack.
Yeah.
Fuck is get rid of blast. Just a 24 to hit.
Crunch.
Just-
And Searing Smite is just for my next attack.
It's only for your it's only for your third.
Yeah.
Your
Cool.
the next attack that hits.
Alright, let me just turn that off real quick.
It doesn't persist. The only persistence is the fire on them when they take their turns.
Yeah. And 6 bludgeoning.
And it lets out a howl in pain and starts beating its chest in anger to see its mate slain so mercilessly.
What is the thing to dismount, Saxon? Is it
Half your
half
movement.
movement? Alright. So I'm gonna
Cool.
dismount.
Alright, the prophet.
I'm going to move towards it.
You sure you want to do that? Huh?
I guess jumping off the cart is like difficult terrain.
You have water.
I guess so.
I'll just move 25 towards it. I think that still puts me move within range. I will cast Mind Spike on it.
Alright. The Yeti grabs itself by the head and starts squealing.
To make a Wisdom saving throw. Takes 14 points of psychic damage.
It doubles over in pain, terrified and confused. It begins beating its chest in agony, in anger, in reckless, relentless confusion. And as it screams and howls, yodels through the pass, ice and snow burst both to the north and to the south. On the high ridges above, some 40 or 50 feet above you,
Oh,
and
shit.
yetis begin beating their chests and roaring with anger. This one that remains alive throws itself into a wild frenzy and looks at you intently. Its blue eyes turning almost radiant blue, and it fires its chilling gaze down upon the Dragonborn. So make a DC 13 Constitution saving throw as you are struck by a bolt of chilling energy. All right. Fortunately, you shrug it off. It is cold, but it does you no harm. The Yeti then relentlessly tears at your flesh. 16 hit?
No. 21.
Alright. Are you immune to cold at all?
I'm resistant, yes, so no cold damage.
No cold damage, 9 slashing. As it tears across you and opens up some wounds across your face, but most of its blow is absorbed by your armor. The other Yetis begin beating their chests and howling in anger. Aradel.
I'm gonna shoot I have a clear shot on these ones.
Yeah, they are at an elevated position, but apart from the fact that you're 40 feet below them and 100 feet away,
Yeah.
it's a difficult shot, but not impossible.
I will cast Guiding Bolt on the closest bottom one.
All right.
Pew.
It has some cover from an attack from below, and your guiding bolt merely strikes the embankment, causing a small avalanche of snow to trail down the relatively steep cliff.
And then I will take refuge behind the cart.
You're in the middle of an ambush, Wild Gold.
Just how I like it. So this is 40 feet up here.
Yeah, that's right. It's equivalent to whatever the measurement is. So 30, 40, something like that. And it's It's at a pretty steep angle, but there's a lot of handholds, ultimately making it a challenging but not particularly difficult climb. Yeah.
And now I have a question. Cat's Claws gives me 20 feet climbing speed. Can I
Yeah.
double that with feline agility?
Yeah.
I can?
Yeah. So if you read the wording particularly, it basically feline agility doubles your speed, I think, or adds
Yeah.
a certain amount to your speed, and your climbing speed is so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I will go over to the wall and I'll climb 40 feet up.
Beautiful. No climb roll involved for you since you have a climbing speed naturally.
And then I use 15 feet, so I've still got 25 feet of movement.
Beautiful. It's a narrow ledge, and you're dancing along it delicately.
Oh, perfect. I'll get right beside him.
He's still beating his chest when you arrive.
And from now on, unless I say, can I reckless attack? Because otherwise I'll just forget.
Yeah, right. So you're recklessly attacking by default from now on.
Yeah, and I'll frenzy rage bonus action, and then single greatsword attack. I can do two because extra attack.
You're brutal. So it's a great blow. But the second one, however, is he grabs your blade and tosses it to one side, heavy in your hands.
He has advantage.
Oh, you have advantage.
Yeah.
You chop that hand off.
Okay.
Oh,
How much is that?
17 plus 2 is 19, 7, 8, 9. So 30, 38?
Oh, brutal.
No, 28?
Yeah, 28.
Yeah,
28.
28.
Sorry,
yeah,
I
that's a
was
big
like,
fucking
I was
number.
like, what?
I added a whole 10 by accident.
Yeah, I was doing this. I was doing the math in my mind. I'm like, damn, I'm really bad at math tonight.
He makes a strength saving throw to maintain his footing after that critical hit. And he holds on, just barely. A bank of snow disappearing down and pouring all over the horse and the Yeti below.
I roar and beat my chest as well.
He beats his harder and faster. So there.
Does he punch his heart out?
This son of a bitch.
He does it so hard he takes 1 bludgeoning damage.
He falls off the cliff
Caves
edge.
his chest in.
That's it.
You're a crack. Ooh.
Ah, shit.
Afternoon nap. Something has disturbed your afternoon nap.
Nice. Wait, is shooting down a cliff easier than shooting up a cliff? What's the?
Generally, yeah. Like these guys, if they had bows, they would have advantage on you, but you don't have disadvantage on them. They merely have +2 to their armor class because they have some cover from your attack.
I'm gonna move the 25 feet here, and then. Wait, how
Cat's
far can a
claws.
short bow shoot?
Oh,
80, 90?
That's
He
within
can.
range. It's
You'll
in
you
the Impendium.
you're a
8320.
tabaxi.
Yeah.
You're a tabaxi. You can do the same thing I did, which is cat claws,
Actually,
feline
I'm a
agility.
row. I can do it quicker.
Ooh.
This
But
is a
I don't-
challenge.
I don't want to. I don't want to be in close combat.
No, but like you could get up, I don't know, like here or something.
You get
and
him.
shoot.
He could probably get right up to them. He has bonus action dash as well, if he really wanted to.
If he wanted to. Yeah, I think we've covered this. If he wanted to.
It's just safer for me to just start shooting them with the bow.
Absolutely. It's not an excellent angle. They'll have +2 to their armor class, but you're a good shot, and it puts a considerable distance between them and you. If they charge you, you'll be able to kite them.
Do you get bonus action hide at level whatever we are?
Yeah,
Level 2, yeah.
you get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Level 2? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You get that. I was about to say, we're level 2.
Hang on.
They might be leveling us up pretty high.
We're level 2.
I shouldn't have
Uh,
access to these spells.
Your arrow volleys straight over the cliff and disappears into a valley below. An archaeologist will find it 150 years from now.
Yes. Tabaxi that can't aim.
That's too backsy.
It's a warning shot.
That's right.
Get away from me.
Jaraxxus Wagon Rider.
I'm gonna move 5, 10, just on the, I guess there. No, I'll go there, on the top, on the front, and then I'll just shoot him with a firebolt.
All right, it's an excellent shot. Which one were you aiming for? I missed it.
Oh, just this one here.
Ah,
on the same
easy.
level. Yeah.
Bam. All right, and he catches on fire and is immediately filled with absolute terror as his majestic white coat is now all aflame.
And then I'm going to go 1, 2. Then that's my turn.
Roz, you're
I'll
still
be right back.
stampeding. Sorry, oh, did I skip over you? No? Oh,
No,
right.
he'll be
he's
back.
over. Cool.
Oh.
Roz.
Seeing that the Eddie in front of him just got killed in a second, and the other one's on death row too, most likely. by the looks.
Yeah.
And Wild's got the one up there. Roz will just move back to the cart, to about here, and hold his action, to dodge action.
Excellent. You're in a defensive position, Rascan.
Smack. One smack first.
Crunch. And the flaming Yeti is slain instantly.
What about jumping on a horse, Saxon? Is that
Half your
half
movement.
movement? Alright, cool. Back on.
Unless you have the mounted combatant feat, which makes it 5 feet.
What's the intelligence of your animal?
2.
I think they have a
Alright.
base intelligence, don't they?
Oh,
from
yeah. From Fine
Steed?
Steed, yes.
Like
let me-
6 or something, or 7. Because
I'm
they
looking
know
at the
your
horse
because
and
they know
shit.
your language.
Yeah.
It's like the
have returned.
horse from Eldorado, kind of smart, right?
Good comparison. Yeah, if
Did I
it's
miss
got
something?
if it's got an intelligence of 6 or 7, I don't think so. If you've got an
It's
intelligence
It becomes 6.
6,
Yeah,
yeah.
6.
In that case,
Yeah,
like I was
6.
going to make you do a animal handling check to direct it, but no, it understands. So yeah, you've leapt on with half your move. The horse is now able to move if you wish it to.
Alright. And how steep are these? It's pretty much vertical?
Oh, the horse can't climb it. No.
Alright, damn.
It's a fairly easy climb for people with hands, but unless you're a Skyrim horse, you're never going to make it.
That's where I got it from.
True.
See, he's got the Shadow
Shadow
Horse
Man?
armor on. See,
True.
look.
Shadow Man.
I spoke too.
I love Shadowmere in Skyrim. I don't know what happened to it.
Alright, so it's half movement to get on, 15 feet. Get on it. And run over here with the horse. 15
Jump
hop
climb.
off.
That's your whole movement. Or is
Yeah.
that that?
Right.
I can't attack.
Yeah, profit.
Oh yeah, you attacked.
Yeah.
Look, if Wild God were to leap off, would he land like at the bottom?
It's not vertical, so he would if he surfed down, he would reach the bottom. But if he leaped off, it would be pretty big. No, it's not 50 feet, but like if it would be about 15 feet, it'd be a dangerous jump. And if he miscalculated it, then
No, because if
Yeah,
I
that's fine.
move and he jumps off, I could cast like good feather fall and he could get across quite quickly.
possibly, yeah, he'd probably hit the ledge and then have to push himself off. But
Sounds like
Yeah.
a challenge.
you know, like when Homer Simpson falls down that gorge and he keeps bumping his head. You know that scene? It's
That's
like
a-
that.
I'm thinking like maybe to like keep his like rate, a good way to maintain his rage.
Yeah, make him bump his head. It's a good help.
Well, I mean,
Good
like, because
work.
he needs to hit something, doesn't he? Or
He
beat
does.
it.
It'll
Yeah, so
be
he's gonna
hit.
move here and say wild jump.
There's still one that's alive up there.
Yeah,
Oh, that one's still alive.
It
yeah,
is.
I'm still fine.
I'm in
I've only
position,
hit it
so-
twice.
I don't think I can cast anything from here.
Assume the position.
Alright, just dodging.
Yeah, just dodging.
Cool.
Feels bad.
The Yeti that is challenging Wild Gold attempts to chill him with its gaze, freezing him in place. Make a con save. Unless you're immune.
Oh, bah! Yay!
Alright, and when that fails, it is enraged. And it evidently goes into a berserker frenzy trying to tear you to shreds. Now that's a 23 on that second one because of your
Ah,
reckless.
Miss. What do you
23?
mean? Yeah,
Very
no, that
good.
hits.
Unfortunate. 15 plus another 12 is 27 points of damage, assuming you have no resistance to cold. Oh, no, that's but you do
4
have resistance to
slashing,
slashing. You
3
do have,
slashing,
yeah,
7
good call.
slashing total.
Yeah,
So,
seven slashing plus 7,
7
13, so 20 in
cold.
total.
Yeah.
7
20 in
slashing,
total.
13
the,
cold.
the cold really bothers you, ain't it?
Ah, okay. These Yetis up higher. Yeah, I know, right? These Yetis that are up higher begin charging down, using their arms like a gorilla might leap through the jungle, hanging and swinging from ledge to ledge, until they're around about halfway down. Then, as they hang off the ledges with one arm and their feet pressed up against they both attempt to target the only humanoid that they can reach with their chilling gaze. 1, 2. DC 2 DC 13s on. Oh no, you're immune to cold, aren't you?
I'm
Just
resistant.
Resistant, not immune, just resistant. But it makes little difference because these blasts of chill they slow you down a little bit, but they don't harm you.
Alright.
Wild Gold. This one, not Aerodel. Sorry, Aerodel.
I'm going to do the same thing I did just a second ago because I don't have any other offensive attacks. So I'd like to Guiding Bolt the one that is furthest from me on Raskarn's side. Level 1. Boop.
Bam.
25.
Makes a strength saving throw to hang onto the ledge, and hangs on.
That is 18 radiant
Ooh.
damage. That's a pretty nasty hit. And the next attack against it is with advantage.
The Yeti is furious, absolutely furious.
And I retreat to the cover behind my wagon. And that is my turn.
High up on the ledge above Aerodel, Wild Gold, 50 feet above the battle below. You are winning this melee.
These Yeti might be furious, but Wild is furiouser.
Indeed.
3 times, recklessly. 2 hit, I guess? Not
Sure
first one.
do. Here's,
23 damage total.
Your first blow knocks him off balance, and as the snowbank and the stone begins to give way underneath his great bulk, he must weigh 450 pounds, 200 kilos or more. And then your second blow topples him over. He crashes down in the snowbank below, landing only a few feet away from the prophet, and getting buried half deep near the snow below.
And I leap off!
Yeah!
I don't cast. I do cast Venom.
I really didn't think you would.
Then I'll grab on to wherever I land and scale down the rest of the way.
You look magnifico gold.
Too soon.
Too soon?
Guess I'm there now.
Afternoon nap. These Yetis are swinging like monkeys in a tree.
That's the best place for them to be. Guess I just move along the ridge to get a better shot.
All right.
I'm going to shoot at the one I've got the advantages on. Better chance of hitting.
Indeed, he is glowing and still reeling from the blow. And lucky you did.
Which means sneak attack too, because you have advantage.
Good point. The Yeti attempts to hang on, and just barely does so as he roars in pain, and the arrow strikes him. He's hanging on with one hand. He leans down and rips the arrow out, breaks it, and tosses it aside as he roars in pain. But he holds his position for now.
He's beefy.
Like some good burgers.
Yeti
Indeed.
burger.
Yep.
You don't make burgers, you make chocolate out of Yetis. So that's an Australian joke. Jaraxxus,
Is that how you get Tolbert?
It's kind of. That's Yowies. I'm thinking of Yowies, Yetis.
I was thinking,
So-
Yeti, what the fuck are
It's
Yetis?
like, yeah, I was like,
Right.
huh?
I made him, yeah.
Yowie,
that
the desert yeti.
didn't
Oh.
work.
Yowie. 30.
Desert Yetis.
He's gonna move there. And he kind of rubs his necklace, makes a little fireball in his hand, claps his hand together, and then duplicates it, and then throws one fireball at each. Or firebolt.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yetis are terrified to see your incoming flame. Bam, bam. This one is struck and falls in a fiery blaze that is extinguished by the drift of snow, and the other one is also struck.
Should be 2d10, I think, Reese. We're level
2d10?
5.
Level
yeah,
5.
I think so.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh,
2d12 because he's got that thing that increases his damage die or something.
Good call.
so it's 2d12?
Yeah, level 5 it goes up,
Yep.
I'm pretty sure, the cantrip.
Okay, well, I'll just roll one more d12 because the other one killed it anyway. So,
Yeah, the other one died anyway.
and then the other one takes another two whole damage. The
Alright. It's only a middling blow, but it does cause it to burn, and it's the Yeti's fear of fire terrorizes it. So it tries to hang on, but it extinguished the little flames. It's obsessed with the flames and terrorizes it. Well, it should be too, since the corpses of its kin are strewn over the ground. Ros, one lies just maybe 10 or 15 feet out of your reach, up a rocky cliff. What will you do about it?
Is it a bonus action to reload a...
It's included in the action.
Oh, okay.
It's just you
Okay,
can
so-
you're restricted to only making one attack with a crossbow.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, yeah, I'm just gonna do one crossbow attack then on him.
Perfect. It's a hit, and you sink your crossbow bolt into his flesh and stain his pearly white furs with crimson.
I'll just move a little bit more forward to about here.
He struggles to hang on, but grips and roars at you, points at you. You know that should he get the chance, Roz, then you will certainly be his next target.
Alright. Can I, like, get to here with half movement? That sounds right, doesn't it?
You'll have to make a climbing check, and you'll only be able to, and you must also have like at least one hand free.
Yeah. Alright.
So an athletics check, and yeah, and one arm.
I'll drop a shield.
All right.
Who needs that anyway? Athletics, you said?
Yeah.
Oh,
All
inspiration.
right.
Why not? Inspiration.
Beautiful. And so with one hand, you climb up there, clenching your sword in the other, and you go up to meet this foe who's in his natural environment. as at home on the mountain cliffs as a spider is in its web.
Yeah, and I'll give you the 16 so you actually hit.
All right. You
Alright,
hit.
so that's doing D8 plus. What am I doing? Flail. Plus 3. 9 damage for the first attack.
All right. He makes a strength saving throw and begins to plummet, falling. No attack of opportunity. He doesn't get to.
Yeah, that's right.
move. So how much damage is it? Just 6?
9, sorry. It has my modifier plus 3.
Right. And then he
Can I-
crashes down into the earth. You can roll an extra 2d6 as he crashes to the ground at the feet of Roz.
Oh, plus 3 to that, 13.
Crunch.
Can I let go of the cliff and try and make my second attack as I fall?
Yeah. You'll have to make an acrobatics check. Beautiful. And it grants you advantage as you use the momentum of your fall to deliver a blow straight into your target. And although you take 4 points of damage yourself as you fall from this massive height, your execution is worthy of a bard's tale.
Oh, that looked pretty cool.
Hell yeah. Champion worthy cool.
Can I scan around to see if there's any more movement?
Make a perception check, yeah.
Still have guidance going.
I grab my shield.
Perception. 26.
That's the advantage on its stealth roll, but that's not going to be enough. There is another one high on the ridge who's simply been watching this battle. And when it sees the defeat has occurred, it attempts to begin sneaking away, climbing up this ridge higher.
Pointed out there's another one. Do I know if Yetis are intelligent? Like can
Make a
speak and
history
have a
check.
community?
Yeah,
If
and
you-
I was also gonna ask.
Roz
would
can have
Roz
advantage.
would Rose know if Yetis like
Just 20.
hide in caves or do they roam around in packs on the land?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, Roz, you'd know that automatically because they're a pretty important part of the ecosystem, a pretty prominent danger up here in the cold lands. Yeah, they do tend to dwell in caves. Those caves can be frigid cold. They often dwell in ice caves. Doesn't bother them. They're a fairly social creature, much like say gorillas. You know, they dwell in pods or small
Families.
family groups. Yeah.
Okay.
They are, however, dominated by the females. These are most likely males, given that they're only about 8-9 feet tall. The females are much bigger, and they're much smarter as well. They tend to more or less use their males as cannon fodder and mating rights. Hunters. Yeah.
Roz will just yell out to the party, "We should probably kill that one."
Why?
Point him out, Aerodol.
Yeah, I've said I pointed him out when I saw him.
You'll still need a perception of 19. You're going to have advantage on your check to see him because he is pure white and deliberately hides among the snow.
Did I know if they're like particularly intelligent enough to like
Hey.
communicate and
23.
whatever?
Natural
Damn.
20.
Might as well give it a go.
21.
So since it's today, I have disadvantage, but because of the advantage, I guess does it discounts that?
Yeah, I guess that's right, yeah. As for the intelligence question, the males tend to be pretty stupid. Maybe as smart as your horse.
Alright.
The females, on the other hand, approach, they approach human levels of intelligence. They don't meet it, but kind of like goblins, So the average Yeti is not as smart as a goblin, but the queens are probably smarter.
Alright. I'm gonna launch another guiding bolt at it.
And I was going
Did
to.
you say DC 18?
19, I think it
19.
was. Yeah, 19.
Somehow
Yeah.
I saw it. So
Mhm.
can I
Perfect.
cast
Yeah,
Mind
I rolled
Strike?
in that 20.
Yeah. So anyone who did see it gets a single attack on it.
Can Wild just take dashing for it.
Have you moved? Did you move last round? You did, so you can't use your.
No, I meant like a
feline
like
agility.
action dash instead
Yeah.
of feline agility.
Yeah, you can take an action dash, absolutely.
All right. It was 80 feet away. That's 25, and then I could get to there up the cliff on my turn.
Cool. It's not as fast as you, but it's in a natural environment that it knows very well. And if it should get off the map, then it's likely to escape.
Unless it fails this wisdom saving throw.
All right, let's go to the wisdom save.
It takes 15 points of psychic damage, and unless it leaves this plane of existence, I always know where it is for 1 hour.
Perfect, perfect. It makes a strength saving throw to hang on, and it hangs on so far. The firebolt also hits. Bam, though the guiding bolt misses slightly.
Unfortunate.
Alright. So that means it basically makes it its go. And it does leave the map. It runs off into the wilds, into the snow drifts, into the caverns and the gorges and the like. But the prophet knows exactly where. Can't see it, but he knows where it is nonetheless. And
you
you're
can, like,
able
see its
to.
outline.
Yeah, you got wall
Yeah.
hacks, right? And you're able to see straight through the mountain.
And a rangefinder.
That's it, exactly. And it's darting through drifts and gullies and up cliffs and down escarpments, and it looks like it's trying to, make for a refuge.
Well, I guess we should get moving before it tracks us down again.
Wild will descend. Yeah, he wants to.
I know where it is. I shall say if it follows us.
He wants to at least skin the one he killed.
Right. It'll take about 10 minutes to skin any of these. So
I'll give you guidance and assist. Like, I'm not proficient in survival.
That's it for the spell then. If you take 10 minutes to do that.
15.
yeah, 15. I thought you meant 15 minutes. Yeah, 15's good. 15's enough. You skin this Yeti, and they're beautiful skins, right? You could take it to Bryn Shander and get 25 gold pieces, but it's going to be worth more down in a place like Waterdeep, where you'll probably get 100.
Is
Can I
there
take
anything,
its horns as well?
Yeah, you can take its horn.
anything special about Yetis that I know of?
They got beautiful fur coats that sell for 100 gold pieces in Waterdeep.
Right.
Yeah, Yetis are a pretty top order predator up in the Arctic. There are bigger things like Remorhazes and white dragons and frost giants.
A little bit rarer though.
Yeah, exactly. Rarer. Yetis make up a very important middle order within the sort of predator chain. You're much more likely to get killed by Yetis than you are by white
They're like-
dragons or frost giants.
They're like the wolves and dragons and
Yeah.
stuff, are like the bears.
Yeah, that's not a bad analogy.
Wait,
Yeah.
by
Also-
chance, could
also
I
seeing
find that
wild-
arrow that the Yeti snapped and threw into the snow?
The snapped one, sure, it's broken, but you find it.
I cast mending.
You got an
You
arrow
have to-
back.
You have to dig the rest of it out of the guy's flesh first, but your persistence pays off.
they're doing
When
it once.
Wild started skinning the Yeti, Ros probably would have started as well. Skinning one of
Perfect.
them.
You don't get guidance because you start at the same time.
Excellent. Go ahead and make a.
So afternoon nap, you get 1
survival
arrow
check.
back.
Thank you. Bit messy arrow.
You're doing
Roll
a pretty good
D4
job.
as well, Stephen. You
You're
got
doing a pretty
guidance.
good job, Don.
He doesn't, I said.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't?
Because he started at the
He
same time that.
Oh,
Ring
okay.
started.
But he
I thought
doesn't
you
need it.
tell people.
It's not perfect. It's a little bit crude, but it's still valuable. And there will be some lady down in the streets of Waterdeep who would pay 100 gold pieces to have this draped over her shoulder.
Is Yeti meat edible?
If you want to, but like most predators, eating predator meat's usually something you only do when you start.
Yeah,
Hey, kobolds can eat anything.
because like really
absolutely.
muscled and tough.
Yeah, that's right. Very rich and
Kangaroo is good.
yeah, the toxins build up to. Anyway, but yeah, kobolds fine. Orcs are, dogs. These sort of animals can eat just about anything. All right. The Yetis have no items. They don't have weapons or pouches or
Pockets.
pockets. No, that's right. They got one pocket. If you want to search their rear
yes.
pocket.
The present pocket.
That's right. But yeah, their pelts alone are quite valuable, and you've managed to harvest 2 of them so far. The Yeti by now has disappeared into the mountains. However, he stops, or stays within a sort of area. It seems that he's come to a place where he feels comfortable, and that Yeti's now moving, only 50 feet this direction, 50 feet that direction. You know what I mean? Probably a cave complex, but maybe a meadow or
So
something.
it might have gotten home.
Yeah, it's probably gotten home. A home that you have now pinpointed to within a dozen feet.
Say the beast has gotten to its lair. We should move on.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's keep it going then.
Roz will start trying to get the animals moving.
Beautiful.
Wild
think-
will also help hooking them up and stuff.
I think
guess-
one needs to pull at a time.
Yeah, I guess
Also-
my seed could be helped too.
I have a question, Arctic.
Mm.
So when I was making Wild, I gave him proficiency in Insight and Stealth,
Hmm.
which is not Wild, and I don't have proficiency in Acrobatics and Athletics, which is definitely Wild. Would I be
Go
able
ahead.
to change those?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. If you've discovered something about your character, then that's
Yeah,
fine.
because I don't use the skills because they just don't
Because
fit
suit him.
him.
You're
Like
yeah.
I
Because,
run in loudly, you know.
yeah, you're like a You're not a cunning lion. You're a bold lion.
Yeah. Okay, that was all then.
Yeah. All right, so you set off, leaving 3 of the Yetis in the snow. They're somewhat damaged anyway from fire, but you discard them and move on in order to get away from this cavern before more of them show up. Make an animal handling check, Roz, as you try to get these beasts moving.
I'll assist.
Excellent. 15's good enough. They like this cold valley, but they're smart enough to know that they can't live here, right? If I'm gonna find a nice warm place, I'm gonna have to do my job and just get moving.
If you
So
want me to bring the warm room back, you're gonna have to move.
They get it, like what can you say? This is a humanoid's world, right? Animals, they got to put up with humanoid shit. It's just the way it is.
Unless you're a dragon.
Unless you're a dragon.
And even then.
You finally made it to the top of the goat track. You're now looking down on an incredible sight, which is somewhat dampened by the snowstorms, which limit your view. But you can see streams of white disappearing off into the slopes until it eventually just reaches the endless grey blue of the northern waters. Far off in the distance to the southeast, you can vaguely make out the settlement of Luskan and the green and fertile grasslands and forests that lie beyond it. To the spine of the world to the east, and the sea of moving ice, an endless flow of icebergs to the west. It's a view in all directions as you stand on a plateau which itself truly sits on the edge of the continent, on the edge of the world. As you trudge through this plateau, where the weather is not quite so blistering cold, but it's still intolerable, you spot steam rising from the ground, like small cloud geysers almost, but they're not geysers. They're menhirs. A menhir is a rock, a big rock that stands about 12 tall, shaped roughly like an obelisk, roughly like a teardrop, vaguely. Now these menhirs are they sit on spots of cold, damp grass where the snow has melted, because these menhirs seem to radiate some sort of heat, about as much heat as you get off a fairly large campfire, and that heat melts maybe a perimeter of 10, 20 feet wide around the menhir that you've spotted. The air is warmer. There are birds and rabbits, insects that are taking advantage of the forage that is available for them. A couple of deer that skip away as you begin to approach. But you don't see any people. You don't see any people. You don't see any dwarves. You don't see any cart tracks. You don't see any traders. You don't see any farmers. You don't see any miners.
Yeah, from what I remember, we must stay here till the dwarves come out.
That's what I remember too.
Unless
No,
you've got a
it's-
dwarf to send in there.
Nope.
You think we have normal races in this party?
Probably not.
We have like
I mean, I'm a human.
we have two
Oh no,
non-monstrous races. If
I
you
had-
count the Baxies as monstrous.
Yeah, shame I don't have disguise person.
Perhaps you could well, there you go, disguised person. I was thinking you might just want to violate centuries of tradition and law, but you could always use magic to increase the deception.
Wild is fully down for just violating centuries of tradition and law. Is there a door to just knock on? Like, is it just a
Nothing you can
massive
see.
door?
There's not even a road, let alone a building or a door or anything. No, it's the menhir is a rock. It's the closest equivalent is like the sort of obelisk we do for Gallipoli statues, but it's not really like that. It's more like a big rock.
Wait, is it
12
those
feet
things
tall.
that they make in like Asterisk and Obelisk?
It is exactly that. Obelisk carries them in here. That's right. So that is what they are. That's exactly right. The things that we built Stonehenge out of are kind of similar, but not really.
Well, I guess we're gonna be here for a little bit until they get us.
I'm gonna look for an entrance.
There's not so much an entrance. It's just snow, right? And so you walk out of the snow, and as you get closer to this menhir, to this rock, there's a patch of 20 feet radius, roughly, of the ice melting as the heat radiating from the menhir provides some sort of camping ground. Yeah.
Thing sort of unfortunate. Prophet, like he wants to follow the tradition because these guys could be valuable allies when the giants come.
Mm.
So I guess he'll...
Can
Wait, also, where's the Yeti?
Ah, the Yeti is remaining within its dwelling.
Okay.
Yeah. There is some junk here. You're not the first people to camp here. You probably won't be the last. So
we will camp
there's
with the most
already like.
style.
Sorry.
We will camp with the most style.
Well, you can do that too. You don't have to use this old fireplace that was built here a decade ago. You don't have to sit among the stones and the firs that have been set. You can do a Mordenkainen if you like.
fuck you? I've got my own tower.
While I wait, can I use shape water to make an igloo?
Absolutely.
I want to
Can
make an igloo
Yeah, a
around the
century
fire.
of arcane research culminating in summoning towers from nothing, and you just make an igloo.
I'm
I
gonna.
want something to do.
Can I check the menhir, see if it's like heated magically or if there's like something in the ground?
You can. As mentioned before, this is a camping spot, and people have used it regularly in the past. And while I did mention a little stone fireplace, there's much, 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 much more than that right here. It doesn't just look like. In fact, maybe a camping place is not the right word so much as a dumping ground. When you when you go to the edge of the world, right? You guys would probably know better than most people who dwell in the city would. When you go to the edge of the world, sometimes you find that you've got shit that you just don't need, right? And there might have been some people who came through here. Maybe they were doing some trading with the dwarves. Maybe they were lost and they just wanted shelter and they sought the warmth of them in here. Whatever the case, they've abandoned a lot of gear here. Maybe it was more than one group of people. So in among these old camps that you find in the radiated, heated grasslands, you find some clothing, some torn tents, some rusty chains, empty pottery jars, but there's also a few valuable items. A great axe, a suit of human-sized chainmail, and a copper bathtub in among scraps of metal and cloth and rope and things that are, if you're interested.
How the
And,
fuck does anyone just? Oh shit! I've been lugging around this copper bathtub forever. Might as well ditch it right here.
Right? At what point are you like, fuck it, we're getting rid of the bathtub here. We've taken it. I'm not taking it another. Maybe the Roth died. Maybe that's what happened.
Maybe maybe they were just like doing a big prank. They were like, hey, wouldn't it be so fucking cool if we just went all the way to Ironmaster and left a tub there?
Oh my god, I got an
They're like
idea.
college student adventurers.
Okay.
Oh shit! Fucking god, dog. Shit!
Jiraxis wants to build his igloo around the bathtub, put a
Beautiful.
fire underneath the bathtub, light the
Beautiful.
fire, put water in the bathtub, and have a heated bath in an igloo, so it's like a sauna.
I just
mean,
used the
You're
one.
the
I just have a
goddamn king of
sauna.
the one of the world.
Fuck yeah.
We have 2 washrooms.
I don't need your damn washroom. Plus,
Can-
fucking it's the little filthy rat room.
Can I employ you before you make them to make one of the second story things an observatory?
Okay, like instead of the second bedroom, it's going to be an observatory.
Because the bedroom can only like have one bed, right? So
Okay,
It's not
so it's a
usually used.
washroom, an empty, a lounge, and an observatory.
amazing.
Strange how
Alright.
you know how the
Fucking
spell
shit out of
works.
me.
Well,
Um,
I would assume that you've explained it to us once
Yeah,
or twice when
we
one
just
of us would
posted.
have asked. Yeah.
He's just like, why God, look, that one's got a bath in it.
He's used it twice already.
Took a 2-second bath.
Yeah, we're
I-
gonna have
I
a group
bring-
sauna session.
Watch
Go
my
on, Bet.
back.
I bring the Roth and the. Oh, they can just sort of chill out around the rock, or or the We can just leave the bottom door open for them to walk in and out of the empty room, I guess.
Chill out. The Roth doesn't like your pun.
Pardon? Sorry, that was incidental, actually.
And
Yeah.
unfortunately, Prophet has to like stifle a giggle.
Huh. Prophet, while you're giggling, you're vaguely aware in the back of your mind of what this Yeti's doing, right? The spell will fade very soon, and you're conscious of that as well. The Yeti leaves his vicinity where he's been pacing backwards and forwards for the past half an hour, and he travels maybe a quarter mile, maybe half a mile away from it to another destination that you can pinpoint within 100. And then he
Oh.
Oh, that's not just me.
No, it wasn't the spell just dropping you, or your connection is gone as he is slain.
Mama's not too happy.
That or he just got eaten by like a Ramorhaz or a dragon.
Yeah.
He'll let the party know. You know, they still care about like the one random Yeti from an hour ago.
Well,
Remember that Yeti? Oh yeah.
it just died. How
Yeah,
do you
eaten by
know?
something.
Well, that's interesting. Can I use my feature library access to get into Ironmaster? Is there a library there?
You can use it to get into the observatory.
Hell yeah! I have a library card, and that's my feature. That's my background feature. Which
I
is
can't
probably the
remember
best.
what my background feature is.
What are you?
How?
What's your background?
I don't know. That's my point.
No. How do you
I'll
not
have
know
a
your
look.
background?
I
You
forgot
write it
how
at the
to use
you
that.
write it at the top of the the guy.
Oh, far
Silly.
traveler. 'Cause I'm
Your
from the
background
Ah.
is you can
Yeah.
like tell people stories of your like people always look at you because you're so weird and different,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so they
And,
want to put you up because they want to nail you, basically.
Yeah, and like and also like you can like I think it's like you can get easy opportunities to talk with scholars and all that kind of and nobles with
Like,
like
people interested in
uh,
people from
yeah.
history lands.
You
With,
are handsome, exotic man. No one can resist you.
Yeah, I chose that because I was from like the past.
Yeah. So if you were to reveal that to anyone who believed you, then they'd put you up for a month. You know,
Nice.
so that's
oh
pretty
yeah,
cool.
I'm fucking a time traveler upstairs.
Exactly. Oh, Mildred, I don't think I told you, but I've actually got a time traveler staying with me at the moment.
If you hide in a cave for 100 years, does that make you a time traveler?
Yes.
I don't think anyone wants to fuck a kobold.
I mean, what about other kobolds?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
I don't even know
I'm
if
probably
other
enough to
kobolds-
know that the 10th generation grandfather, but still.
Yeah.
I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is that your igloo and that your magical house are protecting you from the worst ravages of the cold up here on this frosty plateau that literally overlooks the world. The bad news is that night falls and you haven't seen any dwarfs yet. The
Well, then
good
after-
news is the next day your igloo is still standing and your house is still magically protecting you. And the bad news is you don't see a dwarf that day.
Can Wild spend the entire day roaming around just yelling, "Hey, dwarf!"
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Cat got your tongue?
And I'll refill my portents.
No,
Well, by the time Wild comes back in, his nose is bluish.
Can I make like a maybe like I don't know, maybe intelligence somehow to think about to see if I know any tales or stories about how like to notify them or how they used to operate here
Yeah,
other than
yeah.
what we know already.
Yeah, you could make an insight check or a history check. Either's fine.
Oh,
I'll go inside, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, there's camps here for a reason, right? You know what I mean? Your insight tells you that there probably isn't a quick way unless you're somebody. If you're like a member of the Lord's Alliance, you might be able to flash your 007 card and get the secret access. Or if you're a really valuable trader, perhaps the same. But in both cases, maybe the dwarves don't give a fuck and they make you wait anyway.
I had an idea, but like Pebble wouldn't survive it to the wall, would he?
what?
If I sent like Pebble like to the city with the like message,
You get
In
blown away, buddy.
battle,
he
unlikely.
probably wouldn't be.
Probably not in bat form. If he was like, I don't know, Arctic wolf form, maybe. I don't know.
I was gonna check the menhir to see if it was heated magically or if it was underground.
Definitely, yeah. It has dwarven runes of protection, of welcome, of warmth, of fertility, those sort of things. It's the stone is one very large magical item that make an Arcana check.
Sure, I'll give myself some guidance.
Could I aid him? Because I'm proficient.
Absolutely.
20 total then, if you're
20.
aiding me.
20's great. This would be a location for Druids of the Mountain Circle to initiate new Druids of the Mountain Circle in. So, while the dwarves no doubt regard it as sacred, it's not a specifically dwarven phenomenon, but rather, it's like the dwarves are saying, well, these are our Druid monuments, you know. Yeah, they belong to the Druids, but because they're so close to Ironmaster, they belong to the dwarves as well.
Just trying to reposition my spells today.
it makes for relatively easy hunting because animals are very enthusiastic to come and eat the readily accessed grass and stand among the warmth for a while.
So I guess is Wild Gold looking cold? I guess.
Yeah, a
It's
little
like-
frost
It's like that
frostbitten.
room has a sauna in it.
Ah,
Thank you.
I'm just gonna get really bored and just start making ice sculptures, I guess.
magnificent.
Mm.
Absolutely. What are some of your sculptures look like? 2 or 3 of them.
One's the Prophet dead.
Ooh, that's fucked.
Yeah.
That's a bit
He-
rough.
He's just jealous of my towers.
Nah.
I imagine
not,
he's, like,
not
making
dead.
boxes.
Just
Seriously,
make
wounded.
him really like silly and like. Okay, so it's Prophet standing there with like
It's a caricature.
really, really like goofy clothing and his wand's bent over, and it's
And he-
like
Could he be
It's-
cross-eyed with his tongue out?
cross. Yeah, that's it, yeah. One's Wild Gold, yeah, standing
Looking
on
fucking
standing on
majestic.
like a giant's head.
Roz comes out
1
and
foot
just
up.
helps him.
Yeah.
Creativity.
I'll do Roz, and I'll spend a lot of time on Roz, and it's gonna make him like a large ice sculpture, and he's like muscly
Damn.
and like growing. 'Cause he's
King
helped-
Ross.
Yeah.
Greek
Uh,
god style.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Make a performance check with advantage.
There it is.
Or if you have some sort of tools, you can use those tools instead.
No.
Ice sculpting tools? Unlikely.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone do it before, but that
Oh.
it is magnificent. It is a work of art. And because this is a permafrost region, it stays cold throughout the year, these things are likely to remain here until someone destroys
Things. When Prophet sees it, like you can't help but maybe there's like nostalgia, like he's remembering something from like when he was young.
Ah.
I
But
don't
he
care.
quickly like goes
Oh,
back
so-
to being stern and
So
walks off.
Jaraxxus doesn't care. He doesn't pay
Can
attention.
I use the observatory to try and spot Iron Master?
Well, it's pretty difficult with weather like this, but go ahead. You have disadvantage on the perception check.
I'll give myself guidance then. Pray to Dania. Thank you. Please. Off 10.
Oh,
All right, you spot more than just the Iron Master.
Oh.
So Iron Master itself is a mine and a forge as much as it is a settlement. It's one great big industrial military complex, and thus you're able to track it by the smoke. It's one of the only places that has black smoke coming out of it, and once you've found the black smoke, finding where you think Iron Master is pretty simple. So you don't actually see any structures, any buildings, or anything, but you see smoke. Now, there's smoke, there's forges. It's not the only thing that you see. You spot a large lake, a lake which looks like it might be frozen over, but you can't be sure from this distance. There are a lot of animals near that lake: reindeer, elk, roth. If you wanted to go fishing or hunting, it would be an excellent place to do so. It seems that other people have the same idea, and there are a few natives, maybe dwarves, maybe humans, who knows. There are a few natives wearing their woolies out there ice fishing and hunting and sledding with their dogs. Finally, you spot a lone individual at a distance of about 500 feet, and they appear to have not exactly set up a camp, but they've set up their own little observatory to watch you. They don't have a fire, but they have like carved themselves out a little snowbank, and they've taken their backpack and their spear and their bow off. And this individual, maybe 5.5 feet tall, dressed in white furs, like Yeti skin probably, is watching you. Watching not you specifically, watching the party from a distance. Though they're not interested in you particularly at the moment. They're not, got their binoculars out. It looks like they've kind of set up their camp. They're kind of relaxed. They've been here long enough that they're kind of a little bit bored.
Are they a dwarf?
Doesn't look like it. They look too slim to be a dwarf.
And it was in the direction of Iron Master?
It's up there in the ridges somewhere. Not necessarily, no. So you couldn't follow them by the track, for example. They're about 500 feet away on a high ledge. They're wearing white. The snow is white. They're pretty well hidden, but you with that massive check, you would spot them from the observatory. And there's no way that they'd spot you. The observatory has like a glass dome, and um, spotting someone at 500 feet through falling snow would be a difficult task at best.
I'll just like poke my head out the door at the bottom level and be like, I think someone's been watching us for a while. I won't point in the direction because then they'll notice me pointing to them. They're up on the ridge somewhere, but don't go looking for them. They might know that I know that they're there.
Was it a dwarf?
I don't think so. Too slender. I'll go back inside and cast augury.
Also,
Um,
don't. You may see paper, but it's all temporary. Don't bother writing anything down.
Pardon? Sorry.
Basically, if you write anything down, like as soon as you took the paper outside, it will turn to smoke. So there's no point.
Not writing anything down on your paper.
He's just letting you know.
Alright. I'll use augury to maybe to ask a question of what would happen if we met them, weal or woe, or weal and woe, or nothing.
All right. So yeah, what's your question?
What would be the results of meeting up with this individual on the ridge?
And what's the neutral answer? There's just no answer?
Weal and woe for good and bad, and nothing for results that aren't especially good or bad.
Nothing.
Guess they're just watching us. I have no answers from my augury. Rhythm is going off right now. Really intense sitting around music.
While God, I'm working out in the sauna.
Yeah, just everyone's just like lounging around in like really comfortable conditions.
You're in the middle of a good chapter of a book, and you're like, "Oh yeah, come on, Frodo, you can do it."
I have this book called Middle.
I just had an idea. Can I make the statue of Roz hold the greatsword that's laying around?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. That's good.
I'm gonna go back inside and just like keep an eye on that person.
Yeah.
Is there like what's in the observatory? Is there a telescope or anything as well? Observatory.
Does it say? Yeah.
Telescope and maps of the night sky. Crazy. That's pretty good.
It is pretty good.
Free telescope. Telescopes are like 100 gold.
I've only saw it for the first time last week, but it's already one of my favorite third levels.
It's really good. The only bad part is non-ritual cast, but then again, it's freaking crazy. Yeah.
Liam's got nothing on this.
Yeah. The only like difference is you have to have it readied if you ever want to cast it during the day. Liam's you can not have it readied and just ritual cast. Yeah. Other than like drawing a map of the region with my cartographer's tools, I'll keep an eye on that person until just wait, I guess.
Sure. By the time a couple of hours have passed, you will have concluded for yourself that this is a female elf. Her skin is almost pure white, as is her hair, and as is her companion cat. She has a snow as her pet.
Oh, nice. Didn't prepare sending today, unfortunately. And there's no movement from in the direction of Ironmaster?
No, not that you just have to know.
I suggest that maybe tomorrow, if no more dwarfers come, maybe we should go down to Ironmaster.
Alright.
I
wish to-
agree.
if we can save it for tomorrow, I can send a sending spell to this whoever is watching us right now. The requirements are, or the target is someone that which I am familiar. If I know their complete physical description, am I familiar enough with them?
Yeah.
I saw them
Sending?
500 meters away with the telescope. I basically know.
Oh yeah, like,
Yeah.
it was, like in passing, right? Is familiar.
Yeah, I think that's familiar enough. Yeah.
Right, so there's an elf with a tiger. Is it a druid just like watching the druid thing?
Can I spy her weapons?
They have a longbow, which is pretty standard for elves, I suppose.
Yeah,
Beyond that, a spear, and that's all you can tell.
probably some sort of ranger, hunter gatherer, but they're just watching us. They have been for, I guess, a while. They look pretty
These-
comfortable.
These menhirs are sacred to druids, which would support your idea.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, I'm just making sculptures, furniture, and housings out of ice just everywhere.
Beautiful, doing a great job.
Yeah.
You can set up
And-
a whole town here of
Yeah,
ice.
yeah, out of ice.
Roz getting extremely bored would just start working out.
Perfect, perfect. All right.
Wild too.
Afternoon nap would go to sleep. Find some
Perfect.
to just sleep.
Just
I'm-
on
Nice.
one of the sofas.
I'm IRL laying in bed, so
Roz
Nice.
always works a little bit longer or a little bit harder than Wild.
No, not
So
possible. Not possible.
if he stopped, yeah, that's how it's gonna go, buddy.
No.
Make a constitution.
Yeah, that's it. No Constitution saving throws. Yeah.
One level of exhaustion.
Oh, how you gonna beat that?
Oh,
Oh,
inspiration. Son of a bitch.
You'll beat Wild Goal. By the end of it, you gain a level of exhaustion, which will recover overnight anyway. But you can't deny that you.
I've got a sudden feeling we need to be an Iron Master right now.
Once we get lay down to go to bed, I'll send a report to through the sending pearl.
Right.
Just basically saying, is there a limit how much I can say?
25 words, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's 25
Okay,
words. Limit. Can be any length of gap in between them. So you can like at the start of the day be like, "Hello," like 2 hours later. I am John.
At Ironmaster camp, waiting for dwarves. Will keep you posted if anything else happens. Pretty sure that's 15, but I'll leave it at that.
Perfect.
Making dope ice sculptures over.
Fuck.
He replies that business has picked up since your warband cleared the Remorhaz from the underpass. Trade is now open again.
Very nice.
The next day, after a stout breakfast,
And like
and
when the time comes, he will renew the Goldest Towers, like duration.
renew which power, sorry?
Because they last 24 hours, but he's got to cast the spells again, like at some time, like
right before bed, probably.
Yeah.
Because you cast it right before we bunked up for a day.
Yeah. No worries. In the next morning, as you're trying to get motivated to decide whether you're going to go to Ironmaster or not, the decision is made for you.
Oh.
A dwarf has arrived at the menhir, and when he discovers a fucking castle on his doorstep,
3
he's
towers.
it's like
3 towers.
two towers and an igloo.
Oh yeah, 2 towers.
2 towers
and
and
a
an
lot of
igloo.
sculptures and a lot of furniture out of ice.
He thinks about blowing his war horn, and he really can't decide.
They're really thin towers.
Does anyone assassinate him before he gets a chance to blow his war horn?
No.
If we notice him, it's like, oh, look,
Wild
it's a
says
dwarf.
hello.
Finally,
Hello.
where the hell
No,
have you
it's-
been?
Where have I What do you mean, where have I been? I've been... Oh, who are you to ask such questions?
We've
Then
been
you-
waiting here for days.
How many days?
This is the
Oh, like
third.
Third, yeah. You're supposed to come and get us. Like, we
You're waiting for
respected
3
your
days
wishes.
and you're complaining? Only 3 days? You can complain after 13.
Is that how long you guys sometimes take?
Sometimes longer. Especially during winter months. You might not see anyone come out here for 10 days at a time.
Jeez.
But our quest is important. We have the champion in our party.
Well, the gods must think it's important, because you're quite lucky that I came by here in only 3 days.
Well, we're nerd. Uh,
Northern
see,
Expedition.
No,
Oh,
Yeah,
next
that
we
doesn't
just-
matter. We come to Ironmaster to get weapons made.
Ah,
That's all
Well,
we're here for.
I'm Gort Brighthelm. I am.
We need to talk to you.
Nice to meet you, Gort. I'm Roz. And I shake his hand.
Good to meet you, Roz. Shakes your hand a little bit tentatively. And who might you be, wee lad? He gets down and crouches down so we can get to eye level with the kobold.
Drax's
Because
giggles.
even though he's a dwarf, he still needs to crouch down.
He still needs to crouch a little bit. You know, he likes to emphasize that he's taller than you.
He's just like he notices the slight but ignores it. Like, I am the prophet, and we have come from Brinshander.
Oh, well, that's just as well, because I'm looking for a profit myself. So let's talk business.
Not
Hmm?
business. We come from. I need to pronounce his name. Orgrid Brighthelm. She requests reinforcements after the giants' attack.
Giants? Attacked where?
They attacked Brinshander itself. About 12 of them.
12 giants? How'd you fare?
We beat.
Well,
The defense was valiant, but enough people died. They require help.
Oh, aye. Well, you've come a long way and done quite a duty. But I can see that you're archmages, so it couldn't have been too much trouble for you. I don't imagine. You won't be expecting any payment, will you?
It was our duty to the cause.
Not my duty. I would like payment. But I also have an idea. Because I need a new weapon, you see. And I have some things from a Remor has here. I've got
Aye.
30 pounds of bones.
Ooh.
And we have something else.
Ariel's
Oh,
getting
wanted
the
to
heart
see.
because it's permanently warming him.
I wanted to see if I could get maybe a flaming greatsword or something made.
Oh, perhaps. We're in the business of doing such. But a flaming greatsword, well, such a prize would normally set you back, 6,000 gold pieces. A
But
lot cheaper than the Marcus of Waterdeep, I'll have you know.
Augrey said I could get it cheaper. Is that her name? Augrey?
Orgrek.
Orgrek?
Orgrek.
Augrek?
Yeah, that's right. If you've got the
Friction.
materials, then I'm sure we can do some sort of deal. Maybe we can knock the price off by half. If you've got enough material. All
What
right.
would you need?
So you said you got 30 pounds of this bone, right?
Yeah, and we
Mhm.
also have the heart, if need be.
All right. Yeah, and he could use the bone for the blade. So that'll take care of, basically half of it. So for 3,000 gold, he'll be able to produce you a weapon that is a +1 greatsword that does an extra D6 fire damage. But it'll still cost 3,000 gold on top of the bone.
Do you
Looks at inventory.
have that wild?
I have 500. We have 2 diamonds in the thing worth 1,000 and 593 gold.
So it leaves you with 93 change if you get it.
The 2 diamonds, are
We
they?
also have 8 gemstones in a giant helmet worth 100 gold. 49 pounds of knucklehead trout, 20 gold piece per pound.
I don't want your trout.
170 pounds of silver ore, 1 gold piece a pound.
They'll take your ore. Like, they've got smithies here, smelters, so ore's useful to them, but fuck your fucking trout.
Fair
those
enough.
diamonds. Those diamonds.
Oh, and
vellum,
ivory.
are they?
We have ivory.
We have
This
86
ivory's
pounds
nice.
of ivory.
We have.
I'll
yeah.
take some ivory. Yeah.
You also have an extra gold diamond, don't you, Rascon?
Yeah, but those 2 diamonds that you counted off, were they?
They're
Oh,
separate.
I have one from Balrog. They're separate, are they?
Roz has 2 diamonds as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Alright,
Roz-
cool.
Roz fucking pocketed two
But
of
they're,
them.
but they're
Yeah,
his.
but they're mine, which I'm about to use for my weapon. So
Will a
It's,
heart be used in this transaction?
I'm just and that's the other
No.
question. Oh, they won't be.
It won't?
No, just a bone.
Hell yeah.
Well, can I take
And keep
some of
my
the
water
party gold then?
bottle.
Can I try and
Um,
haggle with
two-
him to say if we buy 2 weapons off you for like a
Make a
nice
deal.
like a good deal?
2 flaming
Like-
weapons, yeah.
I'll give you
Like,
guidance.
can we do a good deal there because we're buying so much from you? Can we cut down the price and like make it a good really good or?
Friend,
try
I'm
and haggle?
already doing it at base cost as it is. You see, if you hadn't been sent by me cousin, there's no way I would have lowered it to the price that I'm giving you dwarven rates as it is.
Alright.
You've been very fair. We understand that.
Yeah.
You say you've killed this fucker yourself. This Ramor has this ice worm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Down in the tradeway.
Yeah.
It's not a very big one, though, is it?
Oh,
No, it was pretty.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it was bigger than
It was,
us.
it was big, but it wasn't, but it was big.
Yeah, you say, oh my, is that Yeti fur?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, he rubs his hands together. Oh, now we're talking. Aye. I tell you, King Jorgen Brighthelm, he's been looking for some hunters to go, he wants something very special, he does. He's looking to get a cloak. But you know what he wants the cloak made of, don't you?
Let me
Yeti
guess.
fur?
Yeti fur.
Oh, go on. The fur of the Yeti Queen. That's what he wants.
Ah,
We got an
Frostbite.
axe, you see, called Frostbite. Frostbite, the name of an axe. Imagine that, an axe with its own fucking name, eh? Hey! Oh, Frostbite, he's a good axe. And, the King Jorgen, he's willing to give that axe away to anyone who brings him a cloak made from the skin of the Yeti Queen.
does it have a consciousness? If it has a name.
The Yeti Queen? Margaret. Yeah, that's her name, Margaret.
I'm sorry, I meant the axe.
Oh, Frostbite.
Yeah.
Frostbite's its name because it bites with frost.
Ah.
Is it
kinda
a
has
great
that
axe?
realization.
A battle axe.
Ooh, perfect for Roz.
Dwarves love their battle axes.
Right.
And Raskan, too, actually.
Mm.
Hell yeah.
So then we would only need maybe 1 flaming weapon.
I look at
Mm.
I look at the prophet for like knowing a knowing look.
Knowing. Yeah. We know what this bitch is.
Probably.
Yeah.
She's hard to find up there in the mountain ridges. She is. But if you can summon mountain castles, no doubt you'll talk to the fucking eagles or something, and you'll track her down.
Hmm.
What
I'm
do you
sure
say?
We can.
Aye, good man. You are a man, aren't you?
Yes. His eyes at him. Like
You
I
have-
have a little bit of beard, but like,
You're
not
half
that
elf or a...
I'm half elf.
Yeah, thought so.
Half
Oh,
elf.
that's what that is. Oh, sorry. I thought you were wearing a little bit of. Oh, I thought it was frost. Oh, that's hair. Oh, I see.
Quite
we-
understandable.
We can we still pay for the will we have enough gold for the flaming flail if we
Flaming ass sword, was it?
You have
'Cause
2
I got the
of
2
the
diamonds.
1,000 gold diamonds.
and
How much
you need
gold
another,
do you have
need another
otherwise?
1,000, champ.
Yeah.
There's 2,000 in the party gold, which I was actually. Wait, there's. Oh, yeah, because
I'd
I wanted
rather
to take
use
the
the
2
2
diamonds.
diamonds than the party gold.
Yeah.
Wait, they said they could use the silver?
The silver's
That's
only
only
worth
170.
170. The ivory is worth something. Hold on.
860.
That's pretty fucking good. So
Yeah.
that's nearly 1,000 there.
So 860 for the ivory.
Well
yeah?
then, if
Yeah.
not a flaming, that great axe, did it use all of the bone or no?
Great axe?
Great sword.
Oh, his
Great,
great sword.
I
great
I have
Sword,
30
sorry.
pounds. You have 30 pounds.
Oh, we got 30 pounds each. Okay.
Yeah,
You guys specified.
we specified that.
Oh, we
yeah.
did? I forgot.
Yeah,
there
so
was
if
like
you give
200
him,
pounds of
if you
bone.
give him that that bone, then and basically let him keep the rest, then he'll drop the price down to 3,000
For each or for one?
for each. That's as low as he'll go. And,
Six
but it's
thousand.
still like phenomenally cheap. Magic items use alchemy, and it makes gold literally disappear. So
Roz will
yeah.
happily chuck in all his gold if that's what the party wants to do, which is 2,172 gold with the diamonds.
Well,
I have 500 gold personally, and like, I think it'd
I have
kind of be worth it. It's a big
So-
upgrade.
I have
still
130
to-
in my reserves.
We'd still have to
There's-
hand in 2,000 gold, right? Is the missing piece here? And you guys
Yeah.
have pennies essentially, and you're adding that.
Well,
Can I
There's-
sell
there's-
my gems here? Are they worth more or less here?
we'll take a relatively standard price, depending what they are. You see, don't like pearls.
I'll wait then. Keep hold of my good stash.
So we have the 8 gemstones from the giant helmet. What were they? They were all like sapphires or something, and agates or whatever. And maybe
So
not
you need
agates. They're pretty
3,000 in
cheap.
total, correct?
We need
500
2,000 in total.
plus.
They're because they're
3,000 for one weapon.
yeah.
Each
So but
weapon is
the-
3,000.
yeah,
That's
but-
assuming after you've given them the bone.
yeah, Roz is using his 2 diamonds,
60
which leaves 1,000,
plus-
and we're
Cool.
probably gonna have to use the other 2 diamonds to get to Wild's 2,000. So we still have a 2,000.
No, we don't have to use the
deficit.
other 2 diamonds. If I use the ivory, the 500 of my gold, the 500 base party gold, I only need 140 gold then.
Roz has a bar that's worth 100 gold, I believe.
Oh, the trade
yeah,
bars.
Trade bar. Yep.
And I could just, like,
I have 100.
just sell the silver. The
30.
silver ore then. The silver ore then makes that up, and there's still 50 gold left from that silver ore.
Okay, I'm gonna get. Yeah. So I'll do the bookkeeping real quick. So how much are we taking from?
500
From.
of actual gold.
So
from the party funds.
yeah,
Then it's minus 500 of my gold as well.
2012 minus 500. 1602.
All of the ivory.
1602. All of the ivory.
Yep.
Wow, unfortunate.
How much does the ivory cost? Oh, wait, how much
10,
is,
10
gold
gold piece a
pieces a
pound.
pound.
and like, how much total are we giving?
860 gold.
Can I keep 5?
860.
Wait. What else? What
Well,
other
well,
uses
you
of
can,
ivory for?
you can keep a little bit of
Carving.
it and make that up with the silver ore then.
Carvings.
Keep 5 pounds of it.
I'm gonna pound. How much is like a handful of ivory? Like
About a pound, yeah. Like
size.
let's say you had the handle of a dagger. That'd buy about a pound.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just get rid of. I'll get rid of 10 gold from my inventory and keep 1 pound for myself then. So it'll still add up the same. I'm just
Okay.
deleting all the ivory
Oh,
there.
can I ask him to use the ivory as the handle?
You already have bone. That's literally almost the same.
The bone was going to be the blade, wasn't it?
No, I am with the lion man. That was the intention. Ivory handle and bone blade. It'll be wrapped in some kind of skin. You got any skin from the Ramor has?
Not
Oh.
left, no.
That's okay. We'll find something to substitute.
Okay, so that's 1,860 at the moment.
What else did you minus?
The silver,
How much?
all of it, because we'll sell it all and then have 50 gold left over from it.
How much does the silver sell completely for?
1
Wait,
gold.
no,
piece.
sorry. We'll have 20 gold left over from it. Sorry,
Okay. So get rid of
30
that.
gold. 30 gold left over from it.
Holy shit.
I'm high, man. Leave me alone.
So how much? How much does this? If we sell all the silver, how much?
170.
170. for the
170.
gold.
And we'll have 30 gold left over after using it for the weapon.
Yeah,
Okay,
so that's equals
so
to 2,030.
I'll get rid of that. 13.
That's 2,000. Then we just need to use 1 diamond then.
No,
It's
it.
1 diamond is 3,030.
So,
Oh, well then. Yeah, the 30 is left over from the silver ore.
so
Yes.
burst that. Go to the third. Yep. Save changes. That's
So
how we're
that's another
looking.
2 weapons.
Is that
That's
all for
one
2
weapon.
weapons?
And
one
then
weapon.
So
Steven's
we need
got
another
his weapon.
1,000. Because
He has
Steven doesn't,
2,000 something or other.
and he needs
Uh,
another 1,000, essentially.
like
2,000 from the diamond.
700 we need, but yeah. I'll just
Yeah.
see if we can get it.
Well, we can get 700 from the gems in the giant helmet.
Okay. Would you? Yeah. Okay. So I'll just
Like
do.
it's a pretty big upgrade, and then Raskan fittingly gets the cold weapon.
That's what I was
Frostbite.
thinking.
Okay.
Frostbite, yeah.
Cool. I have minus the rest of them off, and that is everything. That's all
I'll
the
also
gold.
give him
Aaron?
the bones that Remor has, the 30 pounds of bones.
I now have
Perfect.
59 gold instead of 69.
I've also got a random flask of whiskey, so I'm just gonna give him that as well.
Oh, good man.
That's like a tip.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like
as soon as
make it something good, please.
as soon
like
as
a
business is
masterpiece.
done, I would like to go up to the observatory and see if the elf is still there.
Hmm.
What was the name of the person who wanted the Yeti skin?
King
Ah.
Brightcroot, or Helm, or whatever.
Yeah, the King Yoren Barthelm. Gorgon Barthelm. Yeah, the elf's still there. She's watching the proceedings.
If we get this pelt, would he give us a audience?
Oh, you cannot come into Iron Master. It's forbidden. You see, we've got secret ways and secret techniques, and it wouldn't be right to let anyone but a dwarf see them. But
would he come out and meet us then?
he's a king. What would it wouldn't be kingly, would it, to just strive through the frost to meet a bunch of ragtag explorers? Nay, I'll act as his go-between.
But aren't dwarf kings also great warriors?
Nay, true enough. But he's got gout, okay? It hurts whenever he takes a step. The man's eaten too many whale pies in his time. Now, don't let him hear me say that, but he's an old man now, and, well, he's got us to do his work for him.
If I returned it, I would have had a favour to ask.
Oh, well, I can pass the favor on if you want it to be like that.
It is only important if you.
Aye, well, I'm sure that you'll be back within the month or so.
Especially sooner.
I shall. I shall. You're competent people after all.
How long would the weapons take?
Oh, 10 days if they take an hour. There's always a big lineup of work to do, but I'll try to prioritize these as best I can. After all, it would be appropriate if the weapons were ready when you get back from your expedition.
Sounds good.
So, a month to meet back, was it?
It'll take us about 10 days, but it'll take you about a month, so somewhere in between, likely.
So in that time, oh wait, how long was it gonna take for the Remorhaz stuff as well? I forgot about that.
Yeah, about 10 days to get all that sort of forged up.
So we could go back to Hundlestone, pick up the Remorhaz shields, and then come back here in that time after we killed the Yetis, of course.
If you want to go through that blasted Icewind Passage again, the Ironstone Passage, it's, like, you might kill your animals in the process. You could do it, but it's a very punishing, and,
Is it the same way we came?
yeah, that's right, the same way you came. It's just blistering cold, getting buried in snow, and it's not to mention the fact that it's Yeti country.
Yeah, going through there 3 more times does not sound appealing.
It's- yeah.
You have to go through there at
it's-
least one more.
Yeah, one more. That's right.
Yeah.
But 3 more is
Yeah.
Sucker for punishment.
So just
We should,
go,
we should just
kill
camp
Yetis,
and look for
come
the
back.
Yetis.
Yeah. If anyone,
The elf is
I'll-
still there. She's
oh,
been
yeah.
watching the proceedings.
if no one else wants to talk to the dwarf, I'll cast sending to this elf.
Good. I'm done
Cool.
with the dwarf.
We invite him to have a warm chill out for a while,
What
I
suggested
guess.
you want to have
Hey.
a sauna session?
Oh, I'd like that. Say, does anyone know any song? Oh, my mother had a beard. It was as thick as a lion's mane.
Looks at the wild gold.
Would I remember any songs from like? I don't know. I guess I don't know if I would know any songs from childhood or anything like that.
I'm
Try to make a
Traveling with my
performance check.
parents.
You surely know something, you know. Pop Goes the Goblin or Round and Round the Assassin Vine.
Nah,
You're not very good at them.
not very good at it. No.
Mary had a little Tarrasque.
I'm gonna cast sending on the she elf.
All right, what do you say with your 25 words or less?
I say, hi there. Why are you watching us, and who are you?
Is the a word?
Yeah, he stutters. What is your business with us? And that's the end. And she can reply, right? For sending, I'll click it.
Yeah, up to 25, up to the same like word limit.
Yeah,
you can.
immediately.
Yeah,
5% chance the message doesn't arrive.
that's if it's on another plane.
You know, I think they're a bit closer than that.
Yeah, they're a bit closer than in another plane.
I am an explorer, she replies, and I have in my explorations discovered something of value that I cannot retrieve for myself. If you are willing to help me, you can have half.
I guess I'll then, after getting that reply, walk out of the tower and sort of wave her down if she's watching us.
Yeah, she is willing to make her way down. The leopard, the snow leopard, seems more afraid than she is. She has her bow ready, but not Nock. She's dressed in Yeti fur. The Yeti fur acts like an Eskimo, much like yeah, the wildlings in Game of Thrones, a sort of Eskimo fur around the head, and yeah, beautiful white, almost pure white snow outfit. Makes her way down to your towers and igloos.
I welcome.
Hello, I can lead you to a place. I have discovered a dead people. And where these dead people are a treasure. I cannot get a treasure. It is hard. But I show you a treasure, and you retrieve, and I have half, and you have half. Is this acceptable?
Can I
Insight?
insight?
Yeah, sure. You have
She looks-
disadvantage because she's difficult to understand. She doesn't speak common very well.
Oh
Does she
no.
look elvish?
She does look elvish. There are 101 different sub races of elf, though, so she might not be a half elf, a high elf,
Snow elf.
but she is. Yeah,
I guess I'd try and talk in elvish to her.
she's
she
better with the
speak
elven.
Elven?
Perfectly well, thank you.
Ah,
Prophet, you said that this woman. No, that's fine. Just like sorting this out since you already rolled. You said that this woman is nervous in the presence of greatness. Please, Jaraxxus.
that's a lot easier to understand in elvish. So where is this place you speak of?
I would rather not tell you immediately. I would rather come to an agreement before I reveal where it can be found.
Also
Oh,
in
yes.
Elvish, I'm like, how do you know of it?
I am an explorer, a hunter. I was out searching for my game when I stumbled across it. There are dogs, dead dogs, a sled, and with it cargo. Treasure may be a inaccurate description, but cargo, valuable, no doubt.
Is it guarded? Is that why you can't retrieve it?
I would rather not say, but it is beyond my capabilities.
Is it nearby?
It is not so far. We can reach it within a day.
Why did you see to stalk us instead of meet us?
I thought you may be villains.
Fair enough. We do have the look.
Speak for yourself.
Just a wild gold, Roz, Ruskan, and Nap.
Roz is
My
just
love for the...
eating his last apple, by the
Profit.
way, as you do.
She doesn't seem intimidated by Roz. In spite of his size, there's something comforting about the man that doesn't stir her. I
Or
have
doesn't
little,
stir her in another way.
maybe little enough love for the dwarves, but if you are dealing with them, then you must be committed people. It is that sort of honorable commitment that I seek.
Is it fair to say you hunt yetis?
I have killed yetis in the past. I wear the tokens of my trophy.
If we don't find the treasure particularly useful to us and let you have all of it upon discovery, would you assist us in some yeti hunting?
How close do I have to get them?
Well, we have people that get close, so you probably don't need to be very close. If you're any good with that bow, at least.
Shall this be our deal? I shall take all of the cargo.
Mm,
I do not think it is fair that we make the discussion after we find out what is valuable.
agreed. Let's leave the
How-
promise until after.
What about we each we get one pick out of anything there, just one thing each, and then you can take whatever you want.
I think leaving it to the initial deal sounds fair, and then upon discovery we can maybe change it if we need
There
to.
are 4 crates. I will take 3. You may take 1, but we will not open them. You must take it without us opening.
That
Was
sounds
the deal not
fair to
half?
But then you want me to do something else for you. Kill Yeti.
Well, you wouldn't do it for free, I guess, if you wanted to. You could skin and sell whatever Yeti furs you want.
How about we help skin 3/4 of the yetis we kill, and we get the queen, and maybe a few more. That way she will get about, or however many pelts or beasts we kill.
Yes, our main target is the Yeti Queen.
Very well. We will have. There are 4 crates. We can have 2 each, 2 for your group and 2 for me. And when we kill the Yeti, I shall take 3 pelts. But you say you are hunting the queen?
Yes.
Then if you are brave enough and skilled enough, then you can claim her pelt for yourself. I will not claim it.
Very generous of you. Well, do we want to wait a day, or do we want to act now, for people?
We could go now.
Sure. I'm fine with that. Should we leave the animals here? It's not far.
Well, Luro said he was tired. He could watch the animals and the cart.
It is not good country for animals.
We can leave them here with the men here in the castles
And Luro.
and Luro. Yeah.
My igloo I've made won't disappear, so just let them stay there.
Well, I doubt we'd be gone for more than 24 hours,
No, I suppose.
unless.
Hmm.
Looks
It's
to
always
the
there,
future.
just in case.
Well, let's get going then. If
Alright.
everyone's in agreement. Oh, what's your name, by the way?
Where is her name? I am
Jonathan.
Kalistara, and I am of the Snow Leopard clan.
Ah, I spelled it right.
Snow leopard
I got
clan.
it completely wrong.
I'm gonna do something silly. I want to pull down my hood, go up to the snow leopard, and go twinsies.
Ew! Make an animal handling check at advantage. The cat
Nice.
likes you. It begins to stroke itself up against your leg, and its fur is magnificent. Little snow leopard fur is among the most luxurious pelts you'll find on the planet.
Very nice. Bury my face into it and have a quick snooze.
Luna
Well,
is very fond of you. Yeah, sure of it. Luna is very fond of you, she says, but by then afternoon nap is already beginning to doze. She settles in and kind of watches afternoon nap meditatively as her pet and he sleep together.
Does Nap have narcolepsy? Are we saying it now? Or are we resting again? Sorry.
I'm
And
fine
are we
with
going to
heading
the
up.
cargo first, or the Yeti Queen?
The
Well,
cargo
cargo
first.
is
Yeah,
the
we were going to
first,
the cargo first.
She stands up from her cross-legged position and calls her little cat, which causes afternoon nap's head to hit the ground as the cat sort of is using it as a pillow. He disappears. Bam. Oh.
I guess it's time to leave then.
Bonk. Oh, I guess we're leaving.
By the time you reach the location, it's not quite dark, but it's coming into darkness. And she asks if you have any way of. We're going to have to spend the night here. She's taken you to a lake. You're at the edge of that lake that you would have seen through the observatory if you looked earlier. It's
Yeah.
a largely frozen lake, and animals are kind of grazing around the grassy edges, licking the ice, trying to get a bit of water from the few parts that have holes in the ice shelf above. But she has some caves that you can camp in if you have nothing better. But that's not.
We have Tau.
Are you sure it is not too crazy? What if a dragon sees it and wants to crack open the tower and see what's inside?
Is that a common thing?
It is not common, but there are dragons in this region, dragons and giants. Do you know the giants have been very active lately? Frost giants wandering all over the mountains and the glaciers.
It is the most important thing I know.
I should have realized you would know. You are travelers. You probably know all manner of things I have not heard of.
Then you are right, we shall sleep in the cave.
It's cold, but you're able to build fires in places where no one will be able to see. And after a frigid night, a frosty night that was not comfortable for anyone, you emerge to find a most glorious dawn. It's cold beyond measure, but the golden light of the sun shines across this long, flat plateau like some golden beam. And when it hits the ice, it seems to set it aflame. with radiant metallic sheens, and the animals are coming down to drink in what little melt there is and to eat what little grass remains. It's a glorious scene. We are going to go out onto the ice. It may be quite thin and will break, so do not bring anything that is going to weigh you down too much.
I have a remedy for that.
So do I.
Will we be on there longer than an hour?
Well, that depends on you.
And what is the maximum weight you would recommend?
Goes up and starts tapping the ice. Are any of you more than 250 pounds?
That's not even half of what profit is plus his equipment.
Well, regardless, I can basically nullify the need.
Really? You have such powerful magic?
Some measure.
Then let us try.
And then, right before anyone steps on, I'll cast Water Walk on all of us.
Done.
Wild will take the front then.
Just
Walking.
250 pounds is the maximum.
That's what she recommends, but she's just, kind of doing a
Guessing.
survival check and plucking the number out of thin air.
Yeah, but I mean, we have no reason. Prov has no reason to disbelieve her.
Exactly. Exactly.
And he's
She's
the lightest
the
member of the party, probably.
Yeah.
All right. You head out onto this fragile lake where the animals fear to tread, and the elk and the roth and the reindeer, they retreat from your approach. The wolves and the rabbits the same. Weather's not terrible. It's pretty good, apart from the fact that it's below 0 degrees Celsius. And she shows it to you. Down there, beneath the solid ice about 4 inches thick, down in some 40 feet of water, is a sled, a dog sled, complete with 4 frozen dogs. And in addition to these snap frozen dogs, which are just stuck in their rigor mortis positions, on the back of the sled, there are 4 crates. These crates are marked with a fish, a bottle, a shield, and the 4th one has a wolf. There's 4 inches of ice, 40 feet of water. What do you do?
A fish, a shield, a wolf, and a bottle?
Correct. The
Should we
crates-
determine?
Crates look about chest size, 3 feet long, 2 feet wide, 18 inches deep.
Well, can you do your controlling of water? The
Have to make a
Draxus?
hole.
I have a few ideas actually. How big are these boxes?
The boxes are about the size of a chest, about 3 feet long and 2 feet wide and deep.
Well, I'll he stretches for a second and Roz, get ready to grab 2. I can make them a lot easier to carry for around a minute or so, and I can help with move water if I need to.
Roz is AFK,
Oh, okay.
so Wild will do it.
He's like, okay, Wild, shrink the boxes down so that we can carry them. When we can carry them back to the ocean, the shore, and well, we can deal with it from there. Is that all right?
Gotta get it out first.
Yeah.
Do we have?
So you're
rope?
standing basically above them, and
Oh, they're
underneath
in
your
the water.
feet, that's right, underneath your feet there's 4 inches of ice, and underneath that ice there's 40 feet of water. At the bottom of this frozen lake, that's where you got the frozen dogs.
So they're frozen underneath the water.
Well, not quite, because the water is water, right? But they're frozen to death under the water. So you've
okay.
got yeah.
So it's,
yeah,
I,
yeah.
thought they were- I thought they'd been like frozen at the bottom of the lake as well as like.
No,
they're being-
they're not encased in ice. They were frozen to death, and so they're kind of snap frozen into a, that space jump. Did you ever do that as kids, where you kind of freeze tag?
Yeah.
That's another one. It's like that. The dogs are playing freeze tag.
I have-
They're very good at it.
Dang.
I'm
It's a
gonna-
really good
I can
performance
say
check.
conveniently outside of mage hand range.
Are they do they have like handholds or like little rope bits that you can grab onto on the boxes?
They have. No, the boxes are just crates nailed to get into
Okay,
place.
so the grappling hook wouldn't be able to find any purchase on it.
Not on the crates. No, on the sled absolutely, but on the crates
And
no.
Are the crates on the sled, like tied down?
They
on the
are
sled?
not. Yeah, probably underneath a net. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I could probably try and hook it with the grappling hook, and if someone's strong enough, they can pull it up.
I have 2 hand axes and a rope. We could make another sort of grappling hook with that. Does anyone else have rope and like another hand axe or something?
I mean,
Because if we have 4 points of contact, we'll be able to lift it up like 4 people very easily.
Yeah.
but like you can't really safely or very assuredly tie an hand axe to a rope. Needs to be a loop somewhere at least
Yeah.
in the axe. It's probably like it's probably better off if we just pull it up with one, and maybe you can use your water controlling spell to sort of make it easier to bring up.
Yeah.
Even it out in the water.
Yeah.
You could also maybe make a pulley.
I don't have any block and tackle.
I have a few pittons and some rope.
It's very thin ice.
Yeah,
Can you
you'll
use
just
shape,
crack
it.
it.
Can
I
you use
can make
shape
it
water to
thicker.
like freeze water?
Yes. Yeah. I can.
Could you
do
not
that.
create a tunnel down?
Yeah. Can make a tunnel.
Luro's on her way. On his way.
Oh, cool.
Here, 3 ranges for a cube, manipulate, instantly move, or I'll just post it so that way we can just see it.
Yes, I would like to know the parameters.
Yeah, me too.
Change the flow of water as you direct up to 5 feet in any direction.
Hey, hey.
Even doesn't have enough force to cause
Hello.
damage. You cause water to form. So I can move water flowing upwards. It just can't like harm anyone.
But
We
only
just-
5 feet.
5
Could you,
feet.
like,
So
Slowly create like a tunnel
The
leading
channel.
down.
yeah.
Like move
I
the water
mean-
and then freeze it, move the water, then freeze it, move the water, then freeze it.
The water would flow in to fill the gap, right? Right? You know?
Yeah, I
I
guess it
can
would.
cast
Something.
2 different things, so I can maybe move the water. No,
It's a 1 foot cube, right?
it's a 5 foot cube. Yeah, 30.
What you
5 foot
could
cube.
do is you could take about, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, right? You
Mm,
could do what they do when they make bridges, which is essentially put a big wall around one area in the water,
Oh,
Yeah.
like yeah.
and then excavate all the water out with your move water,
Mhm.
and then we could just go in there.
If you cast this spell multiple times, you can have no more than 2 of its non-instantaneous effects
Oh, there you go,
active at the
can't
same
really-
time.
can't
You
do
can
that.
dismiss such an effect as an action.
Which does mean that you can get 10 feet of water out.
But the
That is
water
true.
wouldn't move back, would it?
Not immediately. As long as the spell is operating, you can, according to this, do it twice, was it?
Yeah,
two
you
at a
can
time.
cast
Come
a
on,
spell
yeah.
Once,
multiple
like if you just
times.
move the water out and then cancel the spell, it's not active anymore.
What he can do is he can just make because it's only 30 feet range. What we have to do is we have to one easy way of doing it is someone start pulling up the thing, and then like for the first 5 meters he can make a current pushing up, and then like a little 5 feet gap, and then another 5 feet is another current pushing up. So it'd be easy to pull it up. That'd be an easy, quick way to do it.
Mm.
Yeah, that sounds good. I don't think Roz can get out on the ice with the 250 pounds.
It's all right. He's walking on water.
That negates it.
Freeze the water.
Essentially.
Because you know how like 250
Yeah,
pounds would
yeah.
normally be enough to break through water, right? Yeah. So yeah.
Like the ice would crack under his feet, and then he'd just be walking on the water surface.
Water.
Then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Yeah, but I guess so. In any case, it just disperses your.
Well, let's just try and pull it out. Can you? Yeah, let's just break a hole or something. Over
Big
the,
enough hole.
Yeah.
All right, you break like 5 foot square sort of hole, maybe 10 foot, something like that.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
The
then
sled's pretty big. Sled's a pretty big item, you know, about
yeah.
the size of a wagon.
Is it in
not
good
quite-
shape?
Yeah. It looks like it's in bloody good shape, to be honest. The crates don't seem to be rotten. the dogs look like they're snap frozen. Their fur is still okay. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's
Do they
it's-
look like they were frozen in mid-run
yes,
or drowned?
yes,
Hmm.
frozen in mid round, run or drowned.
Should just
Yeah.
snap for them, and we've got like a free pack of.
Maybe they're still
Oh,
alive if we can
I-
jumpstart them again.
I kind of have a
And I
really
got
good
shocking
idea,
touch.
actually. So if I can get down there with someone, at least to touching,
Swim.
I'd have to. Yeah, I have to get down there. But if I get down there with, maybe it'd have to be Roz, I think, because it has to be someone has to be able to carry up to their carrying capacity and
You'd
have
be
to carry
terribly, horribly cold.
cold. Yeah.
Horribly cold. Yeah, you can do it though. Absolutely.
So like, as long as Roz can actually physically carry the what's it called, the sled and the boxes up to his carrying capacity, I could then thunderstep me and him out of the hole and on top of the ice,
The problem is I can't.
teleporting it.
Interesting.
Alright, so
That is a good idea.
It's not bad, eh?
problem is I
And
can't
I,
dispel this spell on you unless I have to recast it again.
I can also cast Enlarge on Roz to then make him even carry more if he can't carry them. Because Enlarge reduces the concentration, but Thunderstep isn't, so I can concentrate on that and teleport us out at the same time.
So the thing, you can't submerge yourself while I've got Water Walk on you.
Yeah, yeah.
Good point.
You can teleport in there, and then you'd immediately be ejected 60 feet per round up to the surface.
And you
Not
can't
through
drop the spell off
solid
one
ice.
person either.
Nope.
Yeah.
Not through
I
solid
don't think
ice,
so.
though. I can't go through.
You'd break through it.
Gee, that'd be a
It's-
lot of
it's-
force.
It's not that. It's thin ice. Well,
4
relatively thin
inches,
ice.
so like
Oh.
yeah, relatively thin. It's. You could, you
Okay,
could-
yeah.
It's thin,
could
but
work.
not so thin.
Because I can cast Thunderstep twice total at the moment. That's
Teleport
my
down there,
maximum
teleport out.
back up. Yeah, I'd have to.
The-
So I'd grab a hold of Roz, make
You
him
can-
enlarge,
Would
grab
that have
him,
to be the same
teleport
size
us-
for Thunderstep?
Yeah, you teleport one willing creature of your size or smaller.
Right.
So
Oh,
if
of
you
your
enlarge
size
them,
or
it wouldn't work
smaller.
that way.
It's not gonna
Right.
work.
I mean, we could just try the grappling hook thing, and if that doesn't work, think of something else.
Because the grappling hook
Yeah.
doesn't cost any resources.
Yeah.
Okay,
Alright.
we'll
Let's
try
do
the
that.
grappling for now.
And
All right.
Roz and I
So-
can try to lift it up.
So tell me how this fishing expedition works.
Well, I guess is there anything we can use to? Actually, no. The grappling
Weight it?
hook itself is already weighted. It's a
That's
grappling hook.
correct.
If you miss, I can use Mage Hand to like grab it like close
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
can grab it really close to the
and then sort of drag it over the like
yeah, to negate
the
any sort of
wagon so-
current.
so that it's good, it's going to catch it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So what do you use the mage hand to wrap it around? Like the frame of the frame of the sled, the blades of the sled, the net, the cargo, the dogs, the straps. What part are
The
you
frame
hooking on?
seems what would seem like the strongest part.
Excellent. So you hook it around the frame because the mage hand puts it exactly where it needs to go. You've now got one grappling hook attached.
And I hand the rope to Roz and Wild Gold to heave.
And we'll lift.
All right. So make an athletics roll. Whoever's in charge, whoever's the
And I'll
anchor,
give you
make it with
guidance.
advantage.
Roz,
I-
I
I'm
use
plus
the
6 for you.
anchor.
I'm plus. Oh yeah, I have powerful build. Do you want me to do it?
I rolled, but it's
Put it-
a
no, you got-
20. Oh no, sorry, I
it's
don't
good.
have guidance. I don't have guidance.
You
It's
do
a-
have
it's 19.
guidance. I said I gave it to you.
Oh well, yeah, it's a 20 then.
And I would have lifted, like made a current going upwards, yeah, just to give it a bit of a starting
Ah.
motion.
There's
so
only
it
so
won't-
much
Okay, cool.
advantage you can have.
Yeah,
It'll
exactly.
just make it
Well,
easier.
That's right. I'm just
Lower the
so just
DC
yeah.
maybe.
Unfortunately, there is still physics, and so when you hook it with one hook, right, what that's going to do is tilt the sled, right? Like you're only lifting up one
one
edge of it,
Yeah.
and
That's what I wanted for.
the crates begin to slide off. They haven't slid off yet, but they're starting to slide off.
So they're not strapped in properly because we thought that maybe just one be enough.
They've got a net on them. What do we do with the current to kind of try to prevent?
Can your mage hand
Um,
tie a rope around a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Not very
I'll
strongly
hand-
though. Not very strongly, but you can.
Well, I'll tie a rope around a hand axe,
Yeah.
and I'll tie it like twice on the handle of the hand axe,
Uh-huh.
and let the mage hand can then use that to tangle it up around the frame on the other side, like not parallel, but
Yep.
yeah, adjacent
All right.
to it.
So Wild Gold's got the strength to do this. That's not the problem. But engineering our technique is a little bit of an issue. Who's gonna? If this is the way you want to do it, if you want to make Jerry rig a second grappling hook with a hand axe, is that what our plan's gonna be?
I was gonna say, as it moves upwards,
Yeah.
I can solidify maybe no, because it has nothing to hold on to. So, oh no, because it's not instantaneous. I can make a pillar of ice underneath it, so we
Yeah.
slowly bring it up, rest it back down, slowly bring it up, rest it
Like
back
a
down.
jack.
So, yeah, because it lasts
Yeah,
for
sure.
an hour. The water freezes for an hour.
Oh,
And
right.
sorry, it unfreezes in 1 hour. It'll unfreeze.
Could you not freeze the
But you can only-
entire block of what the
And wouldn't ice float? So
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
if I connect it
Y-
to the
Absolutely
base,
would.
No, what you could do is
Oh.
you could just freeze the entire sled essentially, and you could just bring the whole nothing will fall off the sled. It's all frozen
yeah.
together.
when you freeze all the water around the sled, it just float the whole thing up.
Do we try that?
Yeah, like
Sounds
what?
good.
It'd be easier.
Yeah.
Make an Arcana check at advantage.
Haha, I'll give him guidance.
Can't check.
Blessed by Dania.
Oh, and
full guidance.
roll 1d4,
Or maybe Ogma. I don't know who answers my calls.
16
Brains.
total.
Brains triumph over Brawn. You have advantage, so it's actually 20 total.
Oh,
16 would have been enough though, but it's absolutely perfect. You secure this or create this ice underneath it, which, as the prophet predicts, floats it perfectly to the surface, and you've now got the dog sled floating. The dogs themselves float up with the sled, and their furry faces are pressed up against the ice underneath your feet.
Morbid.
just
Very
in
bad
case.
for them.
Oh no, I can't freeze anything if there's a creature in it, so don't worry.
They're dead, so technically not.
I don't want
right?
to take that chance. Okay, well,
Alright.
We
I
start
guess I
getting the
froze it with the lines still in it, so we could still then pull those lines and get it out anyway.
We have to get it to the shore because
Yeah, we have to
I
pull
can't.
it to
I
the
can't make
shore.
it float.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
Roz and Wild Gold will
Wild.
probably have to shoulder it and carry it all the way.
done.
I can enlarge yous if you need it. Make your carrying weight a bit bigger.
Together, I don't think
We,
I need it.
we've got it. Like,
Yeah.
Together, we can do anything.
Indeed. Indeed. The crates are no more than 50 pounds each anyway, and you're a pair of mighty men. It doesn't take too long before we're all on the shore, and we're all looking down at 4 different crates. One has a fish, one a bottle, one a shield, and finally a wolf.
They're the one with the wolf that has a bunch of puppies in it.
Well, before we open them, let us decide which 2 are mine and which 2 are yours.
Can I have a couple minutes to myself real quick? I'll just be back in a second. Walk off a little bit and
She
cast
rolls her
augury.
eyes, and she says the Welven word for bloody magic.
And I will cast augury and ask the question of what if we open the bottle and the shield?
Wheel.
Cool. How many minutes am I allowed to just sort of sit out here?
We're just gonna like just pray for 3 hours.
I will start meditating.
Okay.
Sure, we can like bring it all the way back to the cave if we want, and we can I can take a longer time.
I mean,
How about we just pick 2? We just do it. Just pick 2.
the honest elephant is like, come on.
I like gambling.
Come
We
on,
should just
guys.
pick 2.
All right, I think flip a coin maybe or something.
The honest tabaxi as well.
Mm,
The
Can I
shield,
Not honest, just prefer gambling.
Shield. Okay.
the shield, and like maybe
The
the
wolf?
wolf. Wolf
Shield and
means
wolf.
power, which means good stuff.
Could just mean fur.
Could be wolf food.
yeah, wolf could mean fur.
The bottle
Or
surely
we
is
could
something.
bottle.
Shield and
Can
bottle.
I make an Arcana check to see if I feel any radiant magic coming from any of them?
Yeah, go ahead. You have disadvantage since
Oh,
you
or
can't see and everything. Oh, just detect
Luri
magic,
does
right?
that too.
Yeah, cool.
But I do it not knowing he was doing it.
Lura has
Perfect.
detect magic.
I
Luro
think
does,
it's
yeah.
something they get. It's like a racial ability.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I get it from the rice.
Perfect.
Crazy.
Perfect. There is no magic here, Luro. And you confirm that, Jaraxxus, that these are mundane crates. In fact, the fact that they've got stamps, fish, bottle, shield, and wolf, kind of, it's likely that they are trade goods, right? Most people aren't literate. The 90% of people can't read and write to save themselves. So pictures are often quite useful for deckhands and warehousemen and other traders who might not know the common tongue.
Does that mean by default all adventurers are already in the 10%?
Hell yeah, that's right. They are, man. Like the fact that you start the game with 100 gold pieces puts you in the 10%.
Because I just thought everyone in this world could read.
No,
Because every
reading is
adventurer can. So it's like, and
no.
adventurers come with all walks of life.
Yeah. It's a no. The short answer is no, because most people don't need to. There is virtually no adventurer that only lives within 20 miles of his home village that he is born and dies in, whereas most people in the Forgotten Realms, they'll never travel 50 miles in their life. If you're born in Fandalen, then you may never go to Neverwinter or Waterdeep in your whole life.
Even though it's just around the corner.
Draxus is going to vote for the bottle and the shield then,
All right.
if everyone
Luro's
else.
gonna point at the wolf.
Yeah. Wild point is the wolf and the shield is his vote.
Hey Lura, weren't you looking after Burrow and the Roth?
No, Luro can be here.
Nah, she's not.
The chicken is.
We just
I
turn
think
around and
chicken's
see
looking after
Laura
them.
just running through the snow.
We've locked them in the. Oh, maybe we asked the dwarf to look after them for a tad
Yeah,
while he
dwarves.
relaxes in the
Yeah.
everything.
In the very like, because those towers would be gone by now because it's been a day.
Oh, has it? Oh yeah. Well, he still has the menhir, which is
Igloo.
warm,
Well, the igloo.
and the igloo. Yeah. So what someone make a straw poll.
Yeah.
Nah. So what was it? A lot for the shield. So shield's probably a
Yeah.
definite.
Yeah.
The tiebreaker is either the wolf or the bottle.
The bottle, yeah.
Bottles could be broken as well.
Could be.
Pellets could be wet, but
I mean,
They
you
can
could
be
dry
dry.
them though.
So shield, we'll take the shield. And
Well, I guess we'll pick one, then she'll pick one. Maybe she'll pick
Ah,
one of
yeah.
the ones we want to pick, and then the choice
True.
will be made.
She allows you to make your choices.
Oh, okay.
shield and I don't know.
So yeah, it's 2 people for wolf at the moment and 1
I
person
like
for
bottle.
That's 2
I
for
like
bottle,
wolf.
2 for wolf.
So 3 for
Three
wolf,
for
2 for
fish.
bottle.
2 for bottle.
One
Rose
for
doesn't say
fish.
anything, but he
One for
secretly
fish.
wants fish.
Oh, okay.
1 fish.
So
It
3
looks
bottle.
like it's the wolf.
All right.
Yeah, I guess it's wolf.
Shield and wolf.
We pry them open to discover what treasures we have within. The shield has 2 suits of chainmail, one of which is suitable for a human and one of which is suitable for a gnome or a halfling. The wolf has 5 wolf furs, which are basically ribbon. The bottle has 36 bottles of mead, and the fish has 40 pounds of knucklehead trout ivory. You know that the ivory that you carve your knucklehead trout from.
Mm.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, are you still on board to come hunt some yetis with us?
She agrees to this.
Not a total waste of time.
We have a sled too now.
Mm. Shame the wolves are
Looks at Raskarn's horse.
dead.
Did Grady fall asleep?
May have.
No, I'm just slack as fuck. I've just been here listening the whole time, laying in bed, getting
It's like an
warm.
audio book.
Fucking nice.
Yes, an audio
But
book.
behold the glorious champion.
You,
He had
you're
to
listening.
Indeed, indeed, indeed.
Is the horse with us, or it wasn't impossible to get up here?
Nah, you couldn't bring the horse. Nah.
Well, I guess Wild and Roz are dragging the sled.
Eh.
Dragging a sled's much easier than carrying the boxes, or what was in the boxes anyway. So
And we don't really need the ruined pelts, so
That's true.
feel we could fork off the chainmails somewhere.
yeah, we should probably take those.
May as well get something out of it.
And then
Means
hope
we
that
have-
Prophet remembers where the Yeti went.
He has keen
He has
mind.
keen mind.
Oh yeah, keen mind.
All right.
Alright. Jinx.
You've returned to the campsite. The dwarf is not there. The towers are basically left abandoned.
No, the towers would be gone by now. They would just sink into the snow.
Excellent. Towers are gone. The igloo is left abandoned.
The Roth, the horse, the chicken, and the
Ox.
ox are all there. Yeah?
Presumably inside the igloo. Where it's
Ah,
warm.
thank God.
I made it pretty big, like big enough for a whole copper bath, so. And I wanted more room than just crouching.
Just
so I made it
bath.
pretty big. Yeah.
All right. What next? It's mid-afternoon by the time you return from the lake.
Drop off our sled and start heading towards the where the Yeti went, shouldn't we?
Excellent.
A night first, maybe? Oh, no, that's alright.
Well, we can start heading there and then build a tower and sleep and
Sounds good. Let's go.
Yeah, you're going to build a tower?
the great magician Prophet will build a tower. Says Wild.
Good.
You have the opportunity to do just that. You're the one who knows where to go, Prophet.
Yeah, he'll lead them in the right. Because before,
Yeah.
like, he didn't see a point in.
And get your
Indeed.
champion a new weapon.
The
Perfect.
IOU list.
Then that would be an excellent ally. Not only do they have unlimited amounts of steel, but they're right in the path of the giant, so they're likely to get caught up in it whether they want to or not. Making and necessity is
Knight's Bridge. Where was that?
Nightstone.
Ah, yes. Nightstone.
Jordeth Tavelson owes me 100 gold.
yes.
Jordev. Okay.
Hobbit assassin.
It's 100 gold, and actually no, you've recorded. Actually no, you probably haven't recorded it. It's probably on a separate screen.
100
Okay.
gold and make the horse the best war horse in the world.
Yeah, that was the. I have it written down actually.
That's
That
his
one.
promise. I have
Yeah.
the IOU.
I have the IOU as well.
Yeah, he IOs me, not IOs you.
Haha, hee hee, ho ho. Okay, let's get
Start heading off.
going.
Alright.
Snowshoes
okay.
on.
As we
Snowshoes
travel,
on. Yeah.
I'll fall back a little bit out of earshot, and I'll use the sending pearl for today in a bit. On the way to kill Yeti Queen, to form alliance with dwarves. Let me know if anything happens where you are. Done.
Sounds dangerous. Have fun. Pelt's worth a lot of gold.
Stop.
Exactly. Over.
It's like communicating in fucking Morse code.
Okay, and I rejoin the party once I've done my commit.
All right. The party expects to find the valley of the Yetis, and then we'll probably have to camp out once you get there. Because being mountain peaks, there are mountain peaks and then valleys and peaks and valleys, and to reach the lair of the Yeti means going through troughs and rises. The Yeti's a much better climber than any of you, with the exception of Wild Gold. But you know where it is, and so you're on the right track. You reach a small protected valley that gives you a commanded view of your surroundings, and you can see a series of honeycomb caves, which are likely where the not only where the Yeti ran to, but also where it died. The prophet can pinprick to within about 100 feet the exact location of every step it took. So here we are now in the wilderness, in the snow drifts, with the snow falling down upon us. The sky has got some clouds in it, but it's not too bad. The weather is below zero, but it's not too far below zero. Will you make for these caves as the light begins to fade, or are you establishing camp here overnight and then staging your assault in the morning?
Do we know if Yetis are better at
Nocturnal.
night time?
Let's have a look if they have dark. They have dark vision, so they operate perfectly well in all conditions. They don't. While they have dark vision, it doesn't mean they're nocturnal hunters, though, because they are excellent at stalking in the snow. They're invisible in the daytime anyway, so they're just as likely to be active day or night.
Guess they'd need it because, like, in winter in at least Antarctica, it's like completely black, right?
Yeah, that's right, or completely white. So yeah, the long days and long nights make it useful for them to be able to hunt day or night.
Cool. I'm just deciding what spells I want.
Some of us cannot sleep. Some of us cannot see in the light. I mean, the dark. Be useful if we slept.
Yeah, it's no disadvantage if we go in during the day, I guess. We only harm ourselves or impede ourselves if we go in at night, without some of us being able to see in the dark. So we do a big sleep.
Done.
Are the animals with us?
No, I think we probably left them.
It's a difficult country to travel through, so they're probably not.
Okay, so I'll just cast my 2 towers.
Perfect.
But
During the night,
a washroom, an observatory, and 2 lounges.
Beautiful. During the night, Yetis come down and begin climbing the towers.
But then Yeti's climbing my tower.
They're
They're just
roaring
huge.
at each other, and yeah, scaling your towers.
Russell, like, going near the window, like, go on, get out of here! Go on, get!
Make an intimidate check at advantage.
Go on, get!
At
No,
first,
they're just King Kong impersonators.
that's right. At first, they aren't bothered by your presence, and they roar back at you. But then you lean the window, and they seem to recognize you. And they look at each other, and they start yelling in a very crude imitation of the giant tongue. It's them! It's them! It's the killers! And they jump, they leap off the
Oh,
tower, they
shit.
scramble down it, and they fucking bolt. They disappear.
The Yetis
Like,
can speak.
I
and they-
didn't know that. Were they male?
They're males, yeah.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Wow. Huh. Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Yes, wow.
Ah, well.
Are they considered
'em.
humanoid?
No.
Okay.
So now the question is, who's going to be more useful, the dwarves or these Yetis in the?
Well, they speak giant. They'd probably be closer to giants than than humanoids. I doubt they'd even mind if the whole world was shrouded in frost, which is what the giants, ice giants at least, plan to do.
But they are smaller than giants. Surely they will also be part of the apocalypse to come.
They won't be. They don't really have much of a civilization, right? So it's not like they're gonna be impeding the giants.
You're no longer disturbed through the night.
Wonder why.
Dawn
Alright.
comes. A silver dawn shining bright on this endless plain of white, reflecting down on the sea of floating ice below, where the whales and the seals break through to breathe after their deep sea dives. Here you are in a valley littered with honeycombs, caves. You have a vague idea, Prophet, of the caves through which your prey stalked, and also where they died.
And I guess we'll know, like, I guess a basic area of the tunnels. So where it
Mhm.
stopped, they must have been the most important stops.
Yeah. Right.
He's like, if we get in, I may be able to lead us through the tunnel.
All right. So you're going to try to pick the tunnel that you think is right, and then start exploring. Is that your plan?
Yeah, we'll try to find the Yeti Queen.
Perfect. Make an insight check as you try to judge which is likely to be the best honeycomb to explore.
Oh.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
All right.
Is insight made with? Is inspiration used with advantage or not?
No, just a regular insight. As you're trying to guess what, because he died inside a mountain, and that's
That's
better.
much better.
That's a bit better, yeah.
That's better. It occurs to you that she probably is in the cave with the biggest mouth. And there's several little caves and one massive one. It's likely to be there. And so the party begins exploring through this frigid, frosty cave. It's dark in there, although there are occasional glowing blue lights created by crystals, ice crystals that seem trapped in the ice around them, providing a very small amount of illumination as you wander through this bone-strewn cave. Are there any preparations that we make? Any particular marching
Mage
order?
armor?
Is it mage armor? Yeah.
I'll take up the front with probably Ros.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Probably Roscar.
Yes.
I'll give Roz a platinum ring and cast warding bond. So you have resistance to all damage currently, but I take the
And plus 1 AC.
same damage you take.
Oh.
Plus 1 AC, yeah, as well. That's right, and plus 1 to all saving throws, I think.
Is
As long as you're
Roscar
within 60
taking up the front with us as well, Grady?
Yes, he will.
Thank you.
Probably like behind him.
Alright, so arrange ourselves the way we are then.
I think I've got an idea. You can change it if we get
Wait,
there.
I'm just trying to figure out what spells I've got. Taking off Water Walk. Taking off.
Oh, Jackie, drag yourself onto the map. So
I'll be changing it to a different map anyway, so it
Anyway.
won't matter.
Oh, it was just big. Yeah.
just us back over to the side then.
1 minute. Okay. Good to know.
What's one? Okay.
Oh, just looking at my concentration timers and stuff.
These are cold, frosty passages, but they're quite tall and wide. In fact, there is evidence that this is not a natural cave system at all, but might have been fashioned in some ancient era, perhaps by the dwarves or perhaps by the giants, or less likely, some civilization that served dragons as their slaves. In any case, you're winding through these chill, frosted caverns, like walking through a deep freeze. And after you've been in here for about 10 minutes, traveling through labyrinthine passages that rise and fall, you're beginning to get frostbite, to get pneumonia. Everyone make a Constitution saving throw. If you're resistant or immune to cold, if you're resistant to cold, you get advantage saving.
Would the winter wolf coat give me resistance?
No, it's just barely good enough to survive in these sort of conditions.
18's not bad though.
Oh,
I need
Also,
to
I'm probably just gonna hit the hay and nap for eternity.
See you soon, man.
See you, Grady.
See ya.
Bye.
Bush gun goes back to
If you
take
just
care
keep
of
me
the
from
animals.
the channel or whatever, 'cause I'm in bed.
No
Okay.
worries.
Cheers. See ya.
Disconnect, not kick.
Yeah, don't kick.
Good idea.
Because, yeah, kicking all games from the server.
All right. You're all doing okay, except for Aradel. Oh, and the
Terrible.
Prophet. Yeah.
Oh, I should have given myself a whatchamacallit, but whatever.
All right. So the cold is blistering,
Brr.
but Roz puts up with it without even noticing, and Luro is the same. The adrenaline rushing through his veins, preventing him from feeling the chill. But Aradel and the Prophet, you have both gained a level of exhaustion as
Even
you.
with the 50?
Oh, you got 15, did you? I thought it was
Yeah,
2.
because I thought
Because
it
you've
was
got
like
advantage.
because of the.
You do.
I thought my vigor warmth.
You're absolutely right. You're
Just me,
absolutely right.
baby.
Wouldn't Jaraxxus with a 12? What was the con save?
What did Aradel get? Did you get the 11 or the 7?
I used inspiration because I didn't think 11 was good enough.
Yeah, cool. So you got a 7. So the 7 is a failure. The 12 is a pass.
Oh, okay, it was a 10.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I
DC
thought it was
10.
like a 15 for some reason.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And so yeah, Aradel, you're chilled to the bone. Your teeth are chattering, your knees are knocking. You feel you lose your all sense of sensation in your fingers, and
Brr.
your ears and your nose really hurt.
Ouchie.
Who has? Is Eternal Flame? Is that a thing still? What
It's
was
not,
that?
It doesn't produce warmth.
Yeah.
Rescan
That doesn't
had
get.
it.
Who has it now?
Russ can't, unless you wanted to take it off him.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
you could just
'cause
say
he's
that
not
you
here.
borrowed it from him. Because like he's not
Yeah.
going to be in combat. Let's just
Borrow
say he went back to take care of the animals. That's the easiest way to do it.
I.
He's standing
Make
hard
sure-
outside.
What
Make sure that we didn't get like robbed.
He gets frozen in the spot.
Are we trying to stay stealthy?
I think we're just
Ooh.
walking
Question.
down, aren't we?
Can I go stealthy? Because stealthy.
You can. It's difficult with all this light that's providing some sort of background to you. So if you want to move 100 feet ahead of the group or more, then you can do stealth as normal. Otherwise, you'll have disadvantage.
Yeah, I do that. I'll scout ahead with stealth.
All right.
It's just disadvantaged ability checks, right? With,
Yeah, that's right. Just
mhm.
ability checks, not saving throws, not attack
Cool.
rolls. Yeah. Afternoon nap. You're 100 feet ahead of the rest of the group and scouting through this frigid tunnel. This old fortress to some forgotten race. You've come to an area where there is quite a lot of illumination. There are crystals in the wall every 50 feet or so, which provide only 5 feet of light, but it's just enough light to act as a guide. These soft blue lights trapped in the wall in the ice. And then you hear snoring. And you smell the thick, strong musk, which reminds you of a stench that you could smell when the Yetis were being skinned. This is an open, broad cavern. You're 100 feet away from the party, but you can hear something breathing steadily. Some massive creature.
I will just guess wait for the party.
Oh, is the lady here as well with
Small
us?
person.
Ah, yeah, she's here too.
Forgot about her for a few seconds.
Right.
Stephen, did you add the +1 to your AC and your saving throws?
Only AC, not saving throws. I was gonna add that in if I ever had to make them.
You can just plus it underneath his little saving throws modifier.
Everyone can make a stealth roll. Afternoon nap does not have to.
I will make it a disadvantage because I am tired.
It's all right. I got an actual one.
I don't know where to plus it, so.
We're horrible. Oh no.
All that rolls, it's really high.
Something stirs and awakens deep within this cavern system.
Wow.
Wow. Alright, where are we?
Oh, there's torches in here. Oh shit.
It's glowing crystals that are encased in ice.
Is this worked stone floor?
It is, yeah. It looks like giants or dwarves or some forgotten race built this long ago.
Like an old stone dwarf hold or something?
Precisely.
A stone
Forgotten
dwarf,
for
sorry,
1,000
stone
years.
giant hold.
Stone giants or frost giants or dwarves or dragons, maybe.
Fair enough. Can I perception check to know which direction the roar is?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
make a perception.
can
Yeah.
Roz use his trunk to try and get a whiff of the direction of the creature?
Yeah, good call. You have advantage on your perception due to your massive schnoz.
I have advantage, disadvantage.
Nice.
What a great modifier. Add one for massive schnoz.
As you detect the creature maybe 100 feet away in a west-northwesterly direction.
I relay that to the group. What do we want to do?
Kill it.
Is afternoon nap
Alright.
still ahead of us, or did he wait for us?
Who?
Uh,
No, he
after
waited.
that.
He
He
waited
waited
for
for
us.
you.
What's the range here? I'm gonna stay right at the door.
Roar! A roaring challenge comes out at you from that same direction, and you know that the beast is preparing to hunt you down. The ground begins to shake. Thud, thud, thud.
I guess if he's
as
coming
it
towards us,
starts
Puff's going to shout out, "Are you a Yeti?"
Yay! She replies.
So much for stealth.
Did you see our stealth rolls? Hey, not bad.
Initiative.
Do I roll initiative at disadvantage?
No, it's not a skill check.
Okay. Doesn't matter.
That's rough.
That's why I don't use things that use rolls. Coolio.
Done. You hear the ground shake, Prophet, and the ground vibrate. The stalactites droplets of water are all around you, and a beast lets out a terrible cry.
Can I see it? Like, any part of it?
Can you see it?
I can see a part of the token.
Excellent. Then you can see it as it sort of strides towards you.
I will cast Cause Fear on it,
All right.
and I will use one of my portents. A 5.
Perfect. It fails.
Can't see either. Maybe.
So it is frightened, as long as I am in sight of it. And as long as it can see me.
There we go. That'll do. Okay. Yeah. It's
I guess I will
frightened
move.
is the right word.
And move here next to Aradel so you get a better view. Then I end my turn.
All right, Jaraxxus.
I'm gonna 5, 10, 15, 20. Look at there. I can just see the token as well.
Yep.
Let's just get this damage up and rolling. I'll just get old. I'm guessing a 24 will hit.
That's a good guess.
Hopefully, I'd be scared if it didn't. And then that's 15 damage for a firebolt.
Yeah. The Yeti is even more terrorized than it was originally. For your Yeti has a fear of fire.
And
And a fear
so
of
it's
profit.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and I'll stay there. Oh, yeah. Good to know.
All right, so the Yeti can't approach, can it?
It cannot approach because I'm the source of its fear. So it's stuck at the back of the cave there.
All right, well,
Unless it moves further away.
at the moment it can't see you, but when it moves to around about there, it will be able to see you, and yells at you with horror and terror and fear. And yet, as it inhales deeply and blasts a flurry of ice cold wind, it strikes the front line. Luro, Wild Gold, and Roz are all struck by the edge of this
DC
chilling breath. Constitution saving throw DC 18 for Luro, Wild Gold, and
I'm going to use my inspiration on that one.
Oh yes. Oh thank God.
Do it, Ross. Do it.
Beautiful.
Oh my god.
Oh Jesus.
Alright. So Roz
is
takes a
terrifying.
quarter damage, whereas the rest of you take half.
Is it because he's resistant? He takes even
Exactly.
further than a quarter because he's also resistant from. Actually, no,
41
does res-
damage.
It doesn't
Yeah,
stack.
it doesn't
20
stack.
or
So-
20?
so
Right.
Yeah, 20.
20 for most of you, and 10 for Roz.
Oops.
When you are still standing, the abominable Yeti, the Yeti Queen, seems to be deeply angered.
So how much damage do you take, Roz? Because I take that damage too.
10.
Cool.
Oh, wasn't it in 30 feet?
Yeah,
So you're out of it.
it's taken from the edge of its token.
Yeah.
Not from the center.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you're out of it, by the way, Aradel. You're not in that distance.
I still take
I
the
saw that
damage.
measure going out to
It's-
Prophet. He's
Oh,
way
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I forgot you take because of that. Never mind.
Right. Yeah. Cool.
I have warding bond on.
Warding bond, yeah.
An arrow flies out from the distance. There is a twang, and the elf strikes the Yeti Queen in the chest with an arrow. The abominable Yeti yells with anger. Does it get a fresh saving throw when it takes damage?
No, at the end of its turns, I think.
The end of its turn. Cool. I'll give it a saving throw now then.
Yeah, it passes.
It is no longer afraid of such a pitifully small creature. No offense.
Size
Right.
comparison. It's a bit much.
I'm just
It's
gonna use
massive creature.
movement to get up to it.
Beautiful.
Oh wait, did I go? Hold on, let me do that again. Sorry.
I think you've done it right. Yeah.
10, 15, 20.
Oh, I think that's as far as I can get.
The squares like don't link up, but that's enough because it takes up those 9 squares. So you're in melee with it now. Yeah.
2 flail attacks.
Sorry?
Race,
Reese, you're not on.
you're on
That sounds
blast, Race.
private. Arctic, do you want to move him to a different channel? It sounds private.
He can. Oh, just right click him and server mute, and then just wait for him to message.
Yeah, I'll mute him, but I think it only mutes him for me. I don't think it mutes him for him.
Yes.
If you
server
right click
mute
with
him,
the red
server
option,
mute him.
like with the red mute.
Oh,
mute him
server
for
mute.
everyone.
Yeah, you're right. I've never used that before. Yeah, okay, cool. There we go. Perfect. Great idea. I'm glad you pointed it out to me. Are they both 2 pathetic swings, Rob?
They are. Last
Come
game
on,
and
Roz.
this game. This is terrible.
You're letting Wild down.
2 and a 3.
I know.
You have a +6 to hit.
Yeah. It's like I got spaghetti arms. I don't know what's going on.
Laura, it would seem that your good ally and friend Roz is outmatched against this tremendous furry giant.
Hey, Lura's gonna go up. He's gonna yell in the process and rage and try and intimidate.
All right. The Yeti is hardly afraid of you, and no more afraid than a cave bear would be defending her young.
Smacker.
All
Yeah.
right.
Where is it?
Oh,
Deliverance.
I get 2 attacks now, don't I?
Sure.
Yeah, extra attack.
did you rage? You add 2 to those.
Yeah,
Yes. So 12, and then does the second one hit?
it does. Ooh, not quite.
No,
Not
okay, never
quite.
mind.
No, it seems to smash her, but you only hit flab and fat, and she absorbs the admittedly rather mild blow.
Grr.
The Yeti Queen is being worn down very slowly by beatings and arrows, but if the fight continues at this pace, then we may lose some of our party in the process. Afternoon nap. You were the first to detect this great monstrosity, and now you see it with your own eye. Or do you? Can you even see it? Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Look, one of them's lit up. Yeah,
Yeah.
More fun adventures.
perfect.
Shoot short bow.
Excellent. Makes an easy target, towering over your own allies, tall as they are. Where do you sink your arrow? Because it lands with such perfect precision. Where were you aiming?
I'm gonna stick with what I was doing with the other ugly creature towards the eyes.
Excellent. This one lands just beside the eye, causing it to close as blood flows freely over it. But then it blinks its eye open again, looking through the crimson haze.
So much damage.
It's pretty good. Wild gold. Luro has provided some assistance for Roz, but he needs you.
He's gonna take off sprinting with his feline agility. Gonna get to there. Wait, no, there, sorry. And then up to there behind it.
Brilliant.
So he can't get hit by another fucking ice blast. And he's going to Frenzy Rage. Whoop. Frenzy Rage.
She faces him.
And Reckless Attack twice with the Great Sword.
Ooh, the second one is just only barely enough to cut through that subcutaneous fat and get into the meat that bleeds. You hit twice.
19.
All right. Brutal blows. But she still stands, although she is beginning to show the signs of wear and weathering. Okay. Pain. Aradel, this walking fur coat, is preparing to unleash its fury on your ass.
Is it within 60 feet? It is. I will cast Command, and in the giant tongue, I will say halt. So on its turn, it will end its turn. Essentially, it'll do nothing.
Good.
If it fails a DC 14 Wisdom save.
Alright. It chooses to halt momentarily.
I'll do it, but not because you told me to.
Exactly. This is I like. Yeah, I wanted to halt.
I'm just doing this, and I'll move within 30 feet of everyone. I think that's 30 feet, except for him.
No, I've got some questions. 'Cause you know,
Yeah.
my Staff of the Slave increases
I'll
my
set up.
cantrip damage.
Yeah.
What's an increase from 2d12?
2d12. Ooh. D12s become 2d8,
2d8?
so it'll be 48.
And what's an increase from 2d8?
Okay, D12 goes to 2d8.
So it'll be
2d8
48
goes to a
total.
D20.
How are you increasing your damage die again?
Because I'm level 5, and then I have the Staff of the Slave.
You get 2d12 from Staff of the Slave. Oh, you get 2d12
I have 2d12
from...
from level 5.
Yeah, and then it'll turn from 2d12 to 48.
48,
the
that's
staff.
correct, yeah.
Yeah, I'll cast Toll of the Dead.
Yeah, cool.
Another Wisdom save, I believe.
That's a big hit too.
That is a big-
Holy shit!
The cave reverberates with the deep, resounding sound of the death toll of this hapless Yeti queen. Yet she will not fall quite so easily, although the stalagmites and stalactites are crashing around us, landing on the ground.
Fuck, that's like a first level spell.
23 necrotic
Fuck,
death.
it's second level spell. I've seen fireballs do less than that.
Holy shit!
True accent.
That's
Hey,
ridiculous.
when the prophet's bell tolls, you die.
You should unserve and mute him
Ah,
to see if
what a
he's
great idea!
Did he message?
He didn't say anything.
Uh,
Reese? Oh,
Sorry,
Reese?
I did mute
Oh, there he
myself
is.
once I realized.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm dealing with I'm dealing with a lot of people that aren't very happy at the moment. But oh well. I dealt with it and I muted myself once I figured it out. So sorry about the loudness. I didn't
Sorry.
realize.
It was more that it was private.
I didn't pick up on any of it, which is for the best.
Yeah.
I did. I listened to all of it, Reese.
Yeah, that's
Just kidding.
Which is probably for the best as well.
Days of our lives, you know what it is.
Exactly.
Okay. Jace is going to start running over this way a little bit. So 5, 10, 15,
All the squishy wizards together.
20, 25.
One
So
ice
get away as
blast.
far away as possible. And just double check I'm still... Yeah, I'm plenty. And I will... I'm going to cast Mel's Minute Meteors Ignore the
Uh-huh.
damage. That I didn't mean for that to be an attack. Hang on, let me just change that to a spell card. That one. So I just get ticks. 6 tiny meteors. They float around me. That's my action. My movement. And I kind of just take a stance, ready to unleash hell.
You can shoot them when you cast the spell too, if you want.
Oh, I can.
Yeah. It says
Oh.
when you cast a spell and as a bonus action on each of your turns thereafter, you can expend 1 or 2 of the meteors.
Okay, well I have 6, so 2, 4, 6. So I have 3 turns where I can spend 2. So I'm gonna send 2 meteors, and I kind of just point my finger at him, eyes glowing red, and I just cast 2 meteors into its face.
Bam, bam.
And it's a saving throw, not an attack roll, isn't it?
We must dexterity saving throw. Gooch
Cool.
takes 2d6 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much on the successful.
It'll get an. I was gonna say guess it'll take an 8 on the second one.
Yeah, no worries.
Roll. Actually, I'll go 4d6. 18 damage total.
Excellent. It is now burning and filled with terror. No worries, Laura.
4 meteors left. Okay. And I end my turn there.
What language was the command given in?
In Giant, because the other the whatchamacallits was spoken in Giant.
Very canny. Now, what was the command?
It was halt and or stop or whatever. And
Because
for this,
specifically, what was it? Halt or stop?
I said halt.
Said halt. All right.
Halt that killing.
Yeah, but it didn't say halt that killing. He said halt.
Where is it? It says it specifically.
But
Approach.
it also specifically only says one
Drop.
word. It makes it. They deliberately.
Halt. The target
Yeah.
doesn't move and takes no actions.
All right. All right.
It's the last of the given commands in the
Excellent.
list. Halt. Yeah, right above a flying creature spell. Yeah.
It hesitates for a moment, long enough for
Oof.
Callisto to hold her arrow. She will fire if anyone else fires.
Wipes sweat off brow.
As this creature is hesitating for reasons that you are not entirely sure of.
Yeah, Roz is in full combat mode.
You don't care.
So two more.
Beautiful. That does it.
And both on the kneecap, by the way.
Bonk bonk.
Alright.
12 damage.
You
And I'll
shatter
spend
her
an
knees. Yeah.
Action surge.
Ah,
as well.
cool. Bam.
Follow up.
She is lying prone thanks to her shattered knees.
Oh shit! Is prone's an advantage, right?
It is.
For you guys.
Oh fuck. This
Yeah.
time on her stomach.
Bong bong.
Crunch. You split her belly open.
Nice.
Negative 17.
Oh, we killed her.
I just rolled
Yeah.
2 8s, by the way.
Holy shit.
They're massive. Like, the challenge rating 9, it's a pretty dangerous monster.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, I had the biggest spells coming up. I was gonna twin firebolt through 2d12, 4d12,
yeah.
and then another of my 2 meteors, which also do like, oh, it's gonna be.
Our
those are gonna be
cantrips
big
are
damage.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Nice. We can now get that axe. That was really easy compared to what it should have been.
As soon
Don't
as I
say.
killed that one, Roz is going to instantly look around. Are there any other of its kin sleeping
none.
or none?
No.
I
I'll
will
help you skin it then.
come
Roz.
and give guidance to whoever's skinning it.
I'm gonna stay guard at the door with my meteors and my flame in my hands.
So I'm assuming it was me, right? Skinning it.
Yeah, you skin it. I'm giving assistance, and you're getting guidance from Aradel. So advantage plus a d4.
Nice, 23.
Yeah, 23 is an excellent result. It's a mastercraft attempt, and you have produced a work of art.
Sweet.
Take
Get
her
the horns
teeth or
as well?
horns, maybe.
Oh yeah. Are its horns like huge?
Yeah, pretty big, like this, as large as any ram you've ever seen.
Is
Even
there
bigger.
anything special / magical about its body parts that could be used? Because it can spew kinds of cold.
Its
Mm.
fur would be, great for making hide armor of cold resistance.
Mm.
Body parts, maybe. Yeah, you might be able to butcher like a voice box or something. Yeah. Go ahead. But do you have anything to keep it in?
Mm.
Mm. Its skin again. the age-old tactic of using its own skin.
But you're giving up the
Ah,
skin for
Yeah,
soon enough.
Rose would have tried to
Yeah.
make this skin like perfectly cut the way
Yeah.
it should be.
Yeah, and you did a great job
Viable
too, especially
assist.
considering
Yeah.
it had some damage done as well.
Mhm.
You're showing me how to carve up. You're teaching me because you're much better at it.
Fucking hell. Is there anything else we want to do in here?
I'll look to the elf ladies. Like, do you require to stay here for maybe killing an extra 1 or 2 yeti?
She thinks about it and says, "It would be greedy. I can barely carry what I have salvaged already."
Fair enough.
Can we take some of the crystal, the glowing crystal?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Roll
okay.
3d4.
3d4.
Yeah. Alright. You managed to get 9 of these glowing blue crystals, and you'll be able to sell each of them for 125 gold pieces.
Holy shit.
They generate
yeah.
a light in a 10-foot radius, a cold blue light, and
Oh, that'd
and
be
thus,
beautiful jewelry.
yeah, that's right. They're an excellent soft light source for someone who doesn't want the full illumination of a light source.
Create some nice atmospheric lighting for our sauna.
Like,
Precisely.
imagine a
Nice.
necklace where that's the middle and then diamonds all around or something.
Magnificent.
May I have
Yeah.
a tiny piece of one of those? How big are the
No.
rocks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. You
It's
can.
like wow from the start.
I only need a very, very small piece.
Yeah, you can have a little piece here.
Like the tiniest chip.
125 each.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Wild
solid
doesn't
money.
know that.
No, but I had them down as 150.
Yeah, no, I know, but
do
what I'm
know
saying
that.
is, do not ask me for gold.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
I know, I was just joking. Yeah, I just get a small chip, big enough that would, because my intention is to like get this. Actually, no, I'll get like a little, sort of like as big as half the palm of your hand. Can I like get a piece that big?
Well, that'd be half a. That'd be the crystals aren't very large to begin with. Maybe half the size of a lighter. About the
give
size
you-
of a 50-cent
That's
coin.
big enough. That's that's big enough.
I'll give you a full crystal. How about that?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
You've helped me.
Sure. I'd like that.
Alright.
And I take the platinum ring off of
Roz.
Roz as well, and the spell.
Oh yeah.
Ouch! I'm a bit hurt.
Ooh, ouch.
Ouchie.
I'm like a boo
You're
boo.
a cleric,
Oof.
deal with it.
Ouch. It's not that bad.
I got hit much harder.
This is why I use a bow. I'm completely unarmed.
The elf nods and agrees with you.
Nice. All right. So 1 glow rock.
Blue
Before I
glow rock.
depart from you, the elf says, I see that you are proficient adventurers and explorers. Do you have any magic that you do not want anymore? I have money now. Maybe I can buy something you are selling.
Do we have anything magical?
I've got a
Roz
drug
doesn't.
that makes water taste funny.
I have a circlet that gives you great posture.
Rosdal will pull out the. No, that's not Rosdal. Well, not. I was gonna pull out the goggles and try and hustle her, but no, that's not Rosdal.
Yeah. I mean, still, you have a sword with a simple enchantment. Anything.
I don't think we
I
have
don't think we
that
do.
right now.
No.
Nope, we're all just strength and brute force.
Oh well.
A
It's
little
best.
bit
will-
of smart.
Maybe
We'll have to
trade
deal
with
with the dwarves.
yeah, that's the exact.
Reason we're here.
Yeah.
Well, we can head back then now that we've got the pelt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before we part, I must ask. Like, the future is dark, and an invasion of giants is on its way. Can we count upon your assistance when they arrive?
My assistance, I am just one woman.
But many ones make a whole, and together we will repel the threat.
Maybe you can tell me more before I commit to this.
Well, we'll be camping out for like 10 days at near Ironmaster. If you're not going far. 9 days, right? Actually.
Alright,
10.
so after
Or 9 now, yeah.
she'll spend another night at your dwelling if you want to go into further detail about what this alliance or commitment will mean.
But it'll basically mean that when the giant army starts its full invasion, you'll basically be called upon to do a task. And seeing as, like you said, you were just one person, it may be as simple as clearing paths for traders. Something you already do.
I am loath to give my commitment to a cause that I do not quite understand, but I know that there are many giants quite active, and I do not know why.
And if you got the opportunity to stop everyone in the world from dying, would you not take it?
Of course, I would take it. In fact, if someone from a race that I was not inclined to trust told me that it was life or death for the world, then I would still do it. I agree, and I shall implore my tribe to agree, and I shall implore my tribe to implore the druids of the Mountain Circle to agree as well.
I am grateful. When the time comes, the summons will arrive.
Ros
I am
walks
only
up.
doing this because
Behind-
my cat likes you, he says to Afternoon Nap.
Ah, very good. I like your cat too. Very friendly. And then away at the camp.
Yeah, or at least on the way if we're not there yet.
All right, back to sleep then.
Do
Beautiful.
the druids have like a name? So the druids of Ironmaster?
The druids of the moon of the Mountain Circle.
All right.
All right. She gives a look at Roz and salutes him.
They just give a nod.
Takes the cat and they saunter out into the snow and are lost among the endless whiteness.
Guess we just camp for 10 days then.
On the
Pretty
second,
much.
yeah, on the second day, I'll cast Sending to let him know that we'll be here on the 10th day, with the
Excellent.
pelt and ready to receive the things.
I'll believe it when I see it. And of
Who has the
course he's-
horns?
Yeah.
Roz has
who has
collected
them?
the stuff,
Probably,
so-
probably me because yeah, I can carry heavy shit. Simple as
Yeah.
that.
Fair enough. Coolio.
Alright. Okay. So the time passes, and 10 days later, you are presented with that which was promised to you. And among the prizes that you receive is Frostbite, an ancient and famed axe that the dwarves are more than a little reluctant to give up, but they would not dishonor an agreement. And when you hold this blade in your hand, if it's Raxan perhaps, you notice that the blade is tinted blue, a blue steel, embedded with elemental ice. And it's kind of appropriate, perhaps, that Raskin should get it, since it's particularly good for blasting out with a breath of cold air, something that he has, of course, long practiced.
It's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
Too bad he's not here.
Dibs! No.
Can you just add that to it,
I'm
bro?
yoinking.
What's the DC?
DC's 13.
But I guess we don't get the audience you requested.
Not the audience, no. So, Brighthelm, your ambassador turns up again, and he's happy to act as a sort of go-between. But the king has no interest in meeting you.
Okay, then
Send a letter or
he'll
something?
send the two requests through then.
Excellent.
Of Brynshanda, that they were not the dwarf from
Yeah.
Brynshanda.
The sheriff.
Yeah.
Orgrek? Oh, you asking the sheriff, Markham?
Yeah, Markham.
I thought it was the female dwarf who asked us
Yeah,
to do
Orgrek.
Yeah.
Orgrek asked
No.
us.
this. Orgrek, that they request reinforcement,
He has already begun to organise them.
and the second request is basically like the recruitment into like the cause. Like, will they be willing to do more to help like the world against the giants than provide reinforcements to Brynshanda?
You're a member of the Lord's Alliance.
No, we serve all who live. Like,
Do you style yourself some kind of great general?
not myself, but the champion will lead the world, like, and inspire all.
Champion. Ooh, this creature.
And who's he gesturing for when he says this creature?
Raskan, if you haven't indicated anyone.
Yes, he's
Then,
going to indicate Raskan. Like, yes.
Yeah. He says, bah, you expect the Dwarven Iron Guard to follow some foreign dragon from the south in our own homeland against our own ancestral enemies?
Because the threat is new and you've never seen anything like it before.
Tell you what, when the time comes, why don't you supplicate yourselves before us? And we'll tell you where to go and fight, and who to go and fight, and how to do it.
Because you are not the champion and your plans will fail.
I got hundreds of years of experience. We've been fighting giants since before your race was likely born.
And I have seen the great walls of Mirabah smashed beneath the feet of giants.
Oh, have you now? Make an intimidate check.
Prophet, it's probably not best to argue with the wars.
Intimidate.
Yeah, intimidate.
Oh,
Intimidating. 5 intimidating kobold is here.
I'll pass your message on. But don't think that anything will come from it, says nervously.
I simply do my duty.
Aye, neither do mine. You're an ambassador, as am I. And if one day we find ourselves struggling alongside each other, well, I'll say, there they are, the ones who brought that magnificent coat our king wears. Now there's a warband we can trust.
Her name's Nerd, by the way.
Aye. In ages to come, the word nerd shall be synonymous with bravery and the warrior spirit.
It's an acronym.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you for your kind words.
Would your king be interested in the Yeti Queen's horns?
Hey, another trophy, eh? I tell
think-
you what, don't tell the king about him. I'll give you 300 right here and now for him.
Deal.
What if we hollowed them out? Gave one to you, gave one to her, and we kept
Oh
one.
no! I'm gonna hang it over me fireplace, and I'll look up at him while he fuck me wife. I'll tell her I killed it myself. I will.
Come on.
Honestly, I'm down for this. I can't imagine a better purpose for these.
300 gold.
Aye. What use is a trophy if it doesn't make a woman want to make love?
Aye.
I'll keep that in mind.
And Roz will hand them over.
He gives you the gold.
Roz will throw that to Wild for the party funds.
Oh shit! I forgot to ask about
600
enchanting
gold
my
total?
necklace.
300 each, or just 300 total?
Total.
It's probably better off asking like not dwarves to enchant things that aren't weapons, right? Or armor.
It depends. As long as it's metal or stone, then they often have an affinity for it. Yeah.
No, it was my. It's too late now. Actually, yeah. All right.
You leave the warmth of them in here and begin that slow journey through the bitter cold back towards civilization.
And we got our flaming weapons as well, our fire weapons.
Yeah, and they are every bit as magnificent and beautiful as you could have hoped, with rubies encrusted into the hilt and pommel.
Fantastic.
Sweet. I didn't get to say this, but Roz was hoping for like the for his flail, where the spiky bit is a circle bit. He wants it to be the Amarev's skull.
Perfect.
Spikes coming out of that.
Oh, don't worry, we've made them just like that before. You're not the first person to want a skull-based flail.
And Wild wanted a curved blade instead of a double blade.
Fucking curved blade? What are you, some kind of hypersexual?
Now here's a red card.
Aye, well,
Swords.
I understand if you're riding your horse or whatever and you want your scimitar, and we can knock you up something like that, something a bit elfy.
Like a Murakuma.
Oh, did they just give me a regular greatsword sort of thing?
What were you looking for? Yeah, if you didn't
Well-
specify, then that's what it'd be. Yeah.
Well, then I guess it would just sort of look like this, like the Skyrim sort of version.
Yeah.
But with some wrappings for the fire, like some sort of hide, I think it was that they said.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. So that's perfect. And they'd probably use salamander hide to wrap it up with.
All right then, cool.
Beautiful.
You
And
said
it's a +1 that does a d6 fire damage.
That's correct. Yeah.
Sweet.
Boom. Gives a
Upgrade.
little burst of flame when the flail or the blade hits. All right. As you head back in the general direction of civilization, through the bitterly cold Ironmaster Pass, which you feel no regret in leaving behind after 3 days of enduring travel, and you make it to a crossroads. Will you head down towards the coast, the northernmost port of Fireshear, or along a more familiar highway down to Luskan and lands beyond?
back to Huddlestone to grab the shield.
Up to Hundlestone, of course. You collect the equipment that you'd sought, and after some hospitality from your gnomish friend, you're ready to head off again. Which direction from here?
We've heard things about psychic pirates, and do we want to go to Fireshear or back to Luskan, guys?
We should make our way back to Waterdeep eventually. We have business there.
Mm-hmm. And if we get on the boat at Waterdeep, then we can worry about the psychic pirates once we get a boat.
Hopefully we could go to Mirabar and Mithril Hall. Quite a journey, but many places to go, I guess. But yes, Waterdeep, I guess, would be the next location
We
for
could
more.
visit more allies while we're there. And
Once Roz.
Ghost Rider.
there is the Ring of Four Seasons we are hunting as well.
Yeah.
Once Roz returns to this flail, he just like spins it around a fuck ton. It's so cool to him.
Yeah, Wild's like chopping at shit. Like chopping trees and shit like that. Starting mini fires and then trying to put them out with snow.
Well, we've got them geared up. Who has the Ramor has shields? Are they fire resistant or cold resistant?
We still got to pick him up.
Yeah, we went to Hundelstone.
Yeah, we went there.
That's
I thought it was Roz and you, wasn't it, that was getting him?
It was either either.
They're just regular, or are they +1 as well? They're just regular, right?
No, they're +1.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
That's why I also invested in it, because it was +1.
Yeah, +1.
Yeah, I was very
And, like,
invested in Raskan going
Fire
to
resistant.
20 and me going to 18.
Good,
+1 fire
good.
resistant.
Yeah, +1 fire resistant. That's right. Yeah.
Nice.
But since Roz is so tanky, if you want an Aradol, you can totally have it.
He did just get an upgrade as well, so upgrading a
Yeah.
cleric would be a good idea.
I can hold. Yeah, I can use it for now. If we were to verse like any sort of fire breathing creature, cough dragons, you might need to use it then.
Maybe. We'll swap when that time comes, eh?
But otherwise, I'd like the extra protection.
It's all yours.
Hell yeah.
Raskan looks so cool and dope right now. He's got the fire resistant shield, he's got the cold fucking axe.
The axe, frostbite.
Yeah.
I have a cool thing I want to do with my necklace. Yeah.
What is it?
Oh,
Since it's been a few days, I'll also refresh the portent, and they look pretty nice as well.
I want to I want to like, because it's like a candle, right? It's like a candle over an eye. I want to put like that crystal as the backdrop to it, and then like put like an ivory, put some ivory into it, like mixing it all together, sort of thing. Oh, my cat just wrecked my fucking headset.
Dude, earlier, Abby scared the shit out of me. Someone turned the under the house lights off, and since I had food on its way, I went to go turn them on, and she just fucking charged up out of nowhere and scared the absolute shit out of me.
We remember. We heard.
It's a good
Yeah.
spell. I have a lot of random junk on me. +1 shield. Yeah, put that on me.
Alrighty. I gotta go if that's the end.
Okay.
All right. See you all next week, everyone.
Okay, well, everyone
See
say
you
goodbye to
later.
Sash then.
Goodbye,
Bye,
Sash.
Sash.
See you, Sash.